everybody, and welcome into the Britain Sports Network on a Saturday afternoon. We are in Albion, Michigan on a Saturday afternoon on a day that I never thought was going to happen this year. Along with me today is Miles Holliday, filling in for Jimmy Bellamy this afternoon. And Miles, I'll tell you what, this has been touch and go for the last several weeks. We eliminated the fall football program entirely, all right? Not entirely, because Adrian played a couple of games. And then we scheduled all these spring games, and it just seemed like week to week you didn't know what was going to happen. Last week we were supposed to play Adrian here on Sunday. That one got postponed till today. We had our fingers crossed all the way through the morning, and finally a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Michigan to play football.
Well, Jim, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Beautiful afternoon. Got some college football ready to come at you, and you hit it right. We didn't know. Nobody really knows, and even up to yesterday, we were still kind of hemming and hawing if we're going to have it or not. But thankfully, we're here and we're going to enjoy some football.
This is going to be a good one, and what better way to get this thing going today than to bring the Bulldogs from Adrian, Michigan over to play football with this afternoon. We're about 20 minutes from game time today as we get ready to go. It is an interesting year for football. Most of the D1 schools decided to get all their football games in relatively in a normal fashion in the fall, but the D3 programs all decided to postpone until the spring. And in fact, when that announcement was made, one of the better teams in this conference, Hope, decided that they would postpone football until the fall of this year. The rest of the teams decided to go ahead and play. Now we've dwindled down to just 4 teams in the MIAA, and there will be a champion crowned this year between the 4 teams that are still playing and still standing. And this game is a big one today because Adrian and Albion are trying to play for the MIAA championship.
Yeah, we're down to the Final Four.
Yeah, so, we really are.
Yeah, Kalamazoo started in the spring, but they bowed out, and you got Albion, Adrian trying. So any of these teams can still win it, and this is a big game because really it's an elimination game.
It really is an elimination game, as you see right now on your screen. Albion at 1-0 overall here on the season and 1-0 in the conference. Adrian at 2-1 and 3-3. But when you look at that, realistically, they are 1-1 at this point in time, okay? Right. Because the only teams that count at this point in time are the 4 teams that are still left. Yep. And when you look at that, it is Trine, it is Adrian, it is Olivet, and it's Albion. And you look at the standings right now, and that gives you an entirely different picture at this point because the teams that have played and the teams that are stacked right now, in Adrian's case, they beat Alma earlier in the year. They've won 1 against Olivet. They've lost 1 against Trine, so they're actually 1-1 at this moment. Albion at a perfect 1-0. It's been a month since they've played. And then you have Olivet sitting there in the same boat, and they'll get a chance to play against Albion next week, and that's when really the championship will be decided.
That's an Olivet team that was up 21-3 against Adrian.
Yeah.
And Adrian came back and won that game in the second half. And you know, Adrian lost to a Trine team, and Albion beat a Trine team. So a lot of different variables in play here.
Yeah, it really has been a strange trip to steal one there from the Grateful Dead. How's that from a long time ago? But it has been a strange trip this year in the football season, whether in D1 or D3. But we're going to make all this happen. It is a beautiful afternoon for football here. It really does kind of give you that feel for a fall afternoon in Albion, Michigan. The sun kind of pops in and out behind the clouds. About the only thing that's different from a September, October afternoon, those trees that we're looking at right now, normally, Miles, would be a beautiful orange and green and yellow and gold and just beautiful colors out here. And right now we're still waiting for the spring leaves to come out.
We have about 15 minutes. We can get some paper, color up some different colors, run them out there, put them on the trees. What do you think?
We can do that, man. Why don't you make that happen? We had an opportunity to sit down and talk to the coach the other day of Albion College, and we'll talk and hear what Coach had to say in just a couple of minutes. But let's first look at the schedule here that we have going on today around the conference, and it's kind of a slim one here today.
It sure is.
Generally, you would have a number of teams that would be lining up and getting ready for a 1 o'clock kick. Today, Miles, it's kind of skinny.
It sure is. As you know, Adrian and Albion going on right in front of you. Alma and Albion, which was canceled, and Trine and Olivet is starting at 1 o'clock as well. So we'll see if we can get some updates on that for you. And then Kalamazoo, which bowed out, that Adrian game has been canceled as well.
There have been more cancellations than games played here in this conference in the spring, but we're going to get a chance to play one this afternoon, and that's all that counts. So with that, why don't we see what the coach has to say today? Dusty Brewer here on the pregame show on the Brit Sports Network.
And welcome in. I can't imagine it's a football Saturday here on the Britain Sports Network. And with me right now is the head coach of the Albion Britons. I've got Dusty Brewer with me. Dusty, good to have you in.
Thanks, Jim. Great to see you again. Looking forward to having you guys back up here more frequently.
Man, we are looking forward to being back up there. Let's start with that, man. This has got to be the craziest year that you've had in all your coaching experience, I would think.
Yeah, I think, starting with getting the kids getting sent home fast last spring and then not really knowing what's going on, meetings all summer long with them, parents asking questions, players asking questions that you don't have the answer for. And as a coach, you typically want to have answers for things, right? That's what you game plan for. You want to have answers to your problems or be able to fix, as coaches, you're also a fixer, right? You want to fix issues, and we couldn't, so, they get sent home like within 2 days. We got one quick meeting, and then we had Zoom meetings throughout the summer, just checking in with guys, FaceTiming them throughout the second semester, the rest of the semester last year. And then finally the news broke in August. Initially our announcement was we were going to play we were going to play a conference schedule in the fall, conference only. That was going to be, I think, 8 or 9 games. And then, all right, that was getting, what's up, Steven? Sorry. That's when our the next thing happened was, okay, you have no season. And that was right before we're getting close. So then it turned into when are our guys moving in, right? We don't even know when they're moving into school. Then that got figured out, and then the testing and all this stuff. And then they got here, and then we had to wait a week or two before we were able to start any activity. We had to start with workout groups with 9 players in each group to keep for, contact tracing purposes. And that was because we were in the infant stages of the virus. And so once we got through 2 weeks of those unscathed, we ended up getting a decent amount of practices, about 25 or 26, with a essentially almost like a spring game in the fall, an inter-squad scrimmage. After that, they get sent home again right around Thanksgiving, and then they got back late January. That's when Hope College decided to say, hey, we're not playing. That was our next meeting with them. Hey, Hope's not playing, but we're going to move forward. Then Finlandia, they're leaving the conference, so we're scrambling to find a week 4 or 5 game next year. All right, we're getting closer. First practice day is going to be February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day, sweetie. That was what I told my wife. When's your first practice? Valentine's Day. It's my gift to you. You don't have to spend it with me, right? So we have our first practice that day, and our guys have been busting their butts and working really hard. And I can tell you, it seems like ages ago, March 20th, our first game, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, March 20th against Trine. The emotions for myself personally, and I think for a lot of kids, just kind of overtook us before the game. Like it felt foreign. It was 490 days. We didn't play our best offensively. Our defense played their butts off, man. We're really good on that side of the ball. I think we got a lot of potential on the offensive side, but our defense played their butts off that game, and then we started clicking into gear offensively. Played very well, feeling very confident. Then we get to Thursday of the next week, next game's canceled. Get to the next week after that, that Monday, that game's canceled. Then we get to last Thursday, that game's canceled. So, you got a lot of questions, and you keep telling your guys, we kept telling our guys, you got to have an undying belief in the unknown. You're not doing this for nothing. You're actually learning life lessons through it, but that's a lot easier to explain 20 years from now to them than it is when they're 18 to 22 and they're getting devastated week by week. So, hopefully we get things rolling for this week and we're able to let it rip. So.
Yeah. Oh man, I hope so. So for the folks watching at this point in time, what's going to happen with the normal championship situation here in the MIAA? Are you playing for the MIAA championship still?
At this very minute, on this very hour, on this very day, we are playing for a championship. The president's voted that it's going to turn into a head-to-head of the remaining teams. So the teams who played Kalamazoo and Elmo who dropped out, that's wiped out of the equation. So it's going to turn into a head-to-head with us, 4 remaining teams. I'll bet us, Trine and Adrian. So, Adrian and Olivet played on Good Friday, actually. And Adrian came back and won that game. So they're in the hunt. They're right in there for everything. So everything's still up in the air right now. but it's going to come down to the head-to-head between the 4 remaining schools.
Now, I know a lot of the reason that you guys still play right now are because you got seniors on this football team, and it'd be tough to lose a senior year. Where do we stand with all of our seniors, and how are they going to transition through this?
Yeah, so right now we have about 5 or 6 guys that are going to be moving to their next phase in life, and really at the end of the day, what our discussions with them were, you got to do what's best for you. Everyone's going to be thinking, if you guys try to make a group decision, it's going to be very hard, all right? So you got to make each of you have to make an individual decision that's best for yourself. So we got a guy heading to med school. John Lutchka is going to med school at Wayne State. Isaiah Gibson from Florida, he lined up a job with Tesla. He actually had to leave a practice early a couple weeks ago for his interview with Tesla, which pretty good company, an up and coming company for him to get involved with. Got a few other guys that have they've been doing job interviews throughout this semester, setting up their next steps. We've got a young man that's a student assistant for us this semester, is heading off to the State Police Academy. But then we got a group of guys that have decided at this point that they're going to come back and would like to try to take a full crack at a full season. Kyle Thomas will be returning in the fall. He took this year off. Cole Hollenbeck as well. So it'll be an interesting dynamic, adding those 2 guys who are great leaders and things like that. And also, a real veteran, mature, older group of seniors there, right? So obviously with recruiting, that changed how many guys we were kind of looking at bringing in and figuring out that whole piece as well.
Wow, what a year. All right, we've done all the COVID stuff now. How's that? Let's talk football. You've got Adrian coming to town, and they are a kind of a younger team, but they've got a junior quarterback and a couple of senior receivers that know how to score some points. Yeah,
Jack Werzer is a gunslinger. He can make things happen for him. He finds a way if he's off to heat up. But you see in the Olivet game how he cranked it up. They were down 21-3, and Coach Deere's done a great job with them. Coach Bailey does a great job with their offense, and they got a group that I think, if anything, that gave them a little more belief, being a younger team, that hey, we can figure things out. They're a little young in the secondary. Got some returners up front on the defensive line, a couple on the offensive line. They've played a few different running backs, and it seems like they're finding one. If one's missing the next game, they've put one kid was a linebacker twice, and taking 30 carries. So they're kind of rolling through and not missing a beat. And I think that's always been a great game for us. It's been turned into a pretty good rivalry within the last 10 years. And like I said, I think I have a lot of respect for Coach Deere and what he does there. And his guys are going to come play hard. That's the big thing, is letting our guys know. Unfortunate thing, we haven't played in 3 weeks. So the real deal is going to be, starting fast and getting into that game speed and game tempo. So we've been doing a lot more of, one-on-one stuff and 2s versus 2s just to get that right speed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Coach Dusty Buer, if people are watching us talk right now, that means we're just a few minutes away from kickoff here in Albion College on a Saturday afternoon. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't sure we were going to get here, but thank goodness we're here.
You're not the only one. Thank goodness we are here. Just one more opportunity to keep moving forward and getting out of this mess. And at the end of the day, I think the most important thing for any team playing currently is getting more games in, more opportunities, because your clock as a football player doesn't last a lifetime. We talked before about guys you can't go and strap on pads later on in life. Not everyone has that opportunity. You can go play rec softball, basketball, soccer. You're probably not throwing on a helmet and shoulder pads when you're 36 years old and haven't done it in a while. So, any opportunity we can give these guys is important. And that was the whole decision process. It was all about the kids, all about our student athletes. And then January, when we met, I just said, hey, if we're going to be committed to doing this, we need to be committed. And our guys have stayed pretty darn committed to the process of getting here and dealing with the roller coaster and the ups and downs. But it's great talking to you, because that means we're closer to kickoff. That's all it means to me. So
that's what it means to me too. Dustin Buer, good luck today. And with that, we'll send it back to the pregame show here on the Albion Brits Sports Network.
Thanks, Jim. Go Brits.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Welcome back. We are at Sprandl Stadium on a Saturday afternoon, and the Britain Sports Network. Jim Funderburg along with my buddy Miles. And Miles Holiday, I'm going to call you at some point in time. I know there's going to be a different last name. Being a big Browns fan that I am, I'm not going to say it because it'll stick in my mind. You know what I mean? So Holiday is the name that will stay there forever.
All right.
I will not speak the other name, or I'll be calling you that all day long. So I'll just call you Miles. How's that?
I like it, and I didn't know you were a Browns fan, so that's going to be tough for us to work together. I'm a Steelers guy.
I know.
I'm still holding a grudge from that playoff loss. So.
Yeah, every now and then what goes around comes around is all I'm going to say. And we'll
Once
see
a millennium, right?
whether we can make that happen or not. A different day here at the stadium. A very small crowd. It's all on the home side, nobody on the visitors side. Generally in the Adrian Albion contest like this one, this place would be pretty much a full house and we would be rocking and rolling. But that's just another one of the differences we have today, Miles.
I don't think the kids care, though, because if you said, hey, you got to play this game in the parking lot on the gravel, they'd be like, yes, we'll play anywhere as long as we get to play football.
Let's do it. That's exactly what they're saying. Today the Brits will be in their purple jerseys with the gold helmets, the gold pants, the gold trim. And Adrian comes over in kind of their Pittsburgh Steeler look today there for you, Miles.
The Bumblebee look.
Yeah, they got the Bumblebee jerseys here today with the yellow jerseys with the black trim and the numbers and the black pants and the black helmets. Let's talk a little bit about these two football teams before we get set up here today. The Britons have only played one game so far. Defense was spectacular. The offense had a few problems, though.
Yeah, once it got going, though, that second half was really good. Both teams quarterback-driven, both by the name of Jack. You got Jack Bush for Albion, and he is one fantastic quarterback. Really got a rhythm in that game against Trine. And then Jack Werzer, who in pregame, I'll tell you what, he was on fire. Every throw he was making was fantastic. Loves the 7 route, so two guys that really lead the charge for their offenses.
Bush, as you said, for the Albion Britons here this afternoon, 26 for 37, 327 yards, 3 touchdowns versus Trine. That was his best afternoon as a Britons quarterback. The team as a whole had 4 fumbles. That was the problem that we really ran into, were the 4 fumbles
Adrian,
on that afternoon that gave the ball back as we go down the field here real quick for the coin toss.
Heads is called. It's a tail. Albion, your choice. Defer, you want the ball, and where would you like the kick? Okay, let's switch around this way, guys. Albion won the toss. Defer the second half.
So that defense will be on the field, and let's talk about that
Adrian
offense
received.
for
Good luck,
Adrian
gentlemen.
right now, because Werzer, kind of that gunslinger type, the junior from Pinckney, Michigan. Last year, he set the Adrian school record with 403 yards of passing in a Saturday afternoon, 4 touchdowns, hit 8 different receivers, and that is pretty much sums that Jack up.
Yeah, you got to look at his height, 5'10". Some people will say, well, that's kind of a detriment for a quarterback, but not with him because he moves his feet so well, always finds those windows, and he keeps his eyes always working outfield, so that allows him to get everybody involved.
He's got a couple of upperclassmen wide receivers right now, and Henry Wilson, who's a senior from Grosse Pointe, and also Donald Scott, who is a junior from Burton, Michigan. And then kind of a makeshift running back situation for the Bulldogs this year, as they will put Malik Ray in that slot again today, and he's a converted defensive back.
Yeah, Malik Ray is a guy that has played on the defensive side of defensive back. One thing about defensive backs, always have good feet, so why not see if Malik Ray can carry the rock.
They also have a pretty good kicker in Cooper West. He hit a couple field goals in his season this year, and is kind of there to be counted on. If you need one from 35 to 40 yards, you've got that opportunity with West this afternoon. On the defensive side of the ball, though, for the Britons this afternoon, you know, you do take a look at this team, and Donovan Slates, the senior that they introduced, he is kind of the guy that stirs the drink here. The 6'1", 222-pound from Adrian, Michigan, of all places. Donovan Slates, the defensive athlete of the week, the opening week when they played down in Trine.
Yeah, Donovan Slate's a heck of a player. 29 games in his career here at Albion. has registered over 15 tackles for loss in his career, 164 tackles in his storied career. One heck of a player. I know coaches hoping that maybe he'll take advantage of that extra year.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We do have the shout out up right now too, as you see that. If you want to talk to us today, where do they do that, Miles? How do they talk to us today?
Well, they talk to us at webcast@albion.edu, and we're looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Shoot some questions, shoot some comments, and we'll bring it to the whole world.
Preston Smith is back deep here at this point. He's number 5 on this side. Nate Shaw is the young man on the top of your screen back deep as the Britons get ready to kick the football season back into gear. This ball will kick down around the 10-yard line, bounce around just a little bit, be picked up right there, heading towards the middle of the football field. He's got a couple of blocks at the 30-yard line, still running at the 40, at the 50, 40-yard line, and then dragged out of bounds inside the 35-yard line, and the Adrian Bulldogs all of a sudden off to a very quick start.
Well, at first he thought that bounce was going to cause some trouble for Adrian, but it actually threw off the timing of the coverage team, got out of their lanes and found a little bit of a crease, and how about the speed to take advantage of that hole? Oh, look at this. Good field position for Adrian. That Albion defense better stiffen in a hurry.
Smith takes it back about 52 yards on that return, and the Britons defense again will have their back to the wall as they open everything up. As Adrian has the ball deep in Britons territory here to open things up on this Saturday afternoon. Good to have you with us out here. Werzer at the quarterback in the shotgun right now. He'll turn, fake the handoff, swing it out to the right to Scott. Scott with the reception. He'll get up the football field for a couple and then get dragged out of bounds by several of the Brits, including Ricky Pearson.
Oh, you see why they like to get the ball to Scott. You can make that first guy move. Was going to be a tackle for loss, but turn it into a 4-yard gain.
Britons right now need to slow this thing down, but this could be one of those afternoons where it could be a shootout before it's over and done with. Triples to the top, and they'll run the opposite direction, and the Britons defense stiffens up for just a short gain.
And how about Slates showing up early, turn that counter play back inside to his buddies, and they could make the tackle. Good defensive effort by Slates. Third down, huge down early in this football game.
Well, you know, where you're sitting right now, I would have to believe this is 4-down territory. You're on the kind of the outside edge.
Yeah, especially after that return.
Of Cooper West, the kicking ability. So, yeah, if you get anything on this one, you got to believe they're going to go for it on 4th down again and not try the field goal. 7's going to count a lot more today than 3, I would have to believe. I don't think this is going to be decided by a field goal this afternoon. Again, the draw play, and that should get the first down as the running back Malik Ray gets across the 20-yard line. They'll spot him right around the 19.5.
Got to give credit to Jack Werzer there. Held the count long enough to throw off that Albion timed blitz. Allowed the lineman to get set and see the blitz coming.
Actually say he touched down at about the 22. It's still enough for a first down. First down and 10, the first down of the afternoon goes to the Bulldogs. Again, Werzer in the pistol look here. And
too high safety by Albion, inside slot uncovered.
Looking downfield, gonna run out of time, throws it across the middle, and that one gets knocked away by John Wester. Wester, again, the sophomore out of Walled Lake Western, and he had just blanket coverage on that receiver that time.
How about the closing speed by Wester right there, and a great job of not getting that left hand around to hold the receiver for a flag.
When you take a look at this football team with the Britons, you take a look at that secondary, and that is the strength of this team. Not to say that defensive front's not a bunch of slouches up there as well. They can play some football, and defense has been their strong point early as they cut down this running play before it ever gets a chance heading around that left corner.
Well, if they can stop the run with 6 guys in the box, boy, that's going to be a huge advantage because they're walking a linebacker out onto that slot playing too high, really only committing 6 defenders to the run game, and that time it paid off. Big 3rd down and long right here. Got to watch the football. Don't give up early yards on a jump off sides.
Gage Paulus is the receiver on this side. He's number 0. In the slot there is Donald Scott. Single wide out on the top side again. 3rd down and long, and here comes the heat right up the middle of the field. Werzer gets away from it. Got one guy to miss, and he did. To the 10, to the 5, gets drilled, but down inside the 5-yard line to the 4-yard line goes the quarterback, Jack Werzer.
Werzer looked upfield and then felt the pressure in the pocket extremely well. And how about using his feet to turn the down box over for the Bulldogs? Huge conversion. 3rd and long, gets out of jail.
Werzer is not a guy that you would consider to be a real running threat in the quarterback slot. Only has 78 yards rushing here on this season, but he does have 4 touchdowns in the 6 games that they have played so far.
Over formation.
Counter play goes back inside the 1, and I believe the first score of the afternoon is going to go to Adrian as Malik Ray runs it in from the 3-yard line. It's 6-0 now, Bulldogs.
Oh, you got to give a lot of credit to Harry Bailey, the offensive coordinator at Adrian. He put the tight end with the trip, so it was an over formation, outnumbered Albion, and snapped it before they could recognize it. Took advantage of the mismatch on that side, ran Ray in for an easy score.
Gage Paulus is the young man that will hold here for the extra point for Cooper West. 6-0 with the first drive of the afternoon here on the Britain Sports Network. And this one is straight through the middle. Make it 7-0 Bulldogs here on the Britain Sports Network. Well, I'll tell you what, pretty impressive drive there for the Bulldogs. And I wondered a little bit about this. You know, the Brits have been off for a month. The Bulldogs have been off for 2 weeks.
Right.
Who's going to be the team that needs a little longer time to get themselves back into gear?
Well, they're going to have to. Albion's going to have to do a better job of keeping their eye on the quarterback as they rush a passer, because Werzer has shown, boy, his quick feet can move around and get that first down. Really, the key play of that drive was him converting with his feet for that first down on 3rd and long, or else they might have had to settle for a field goal.
Really heads up junior quarterback there in Jack Werzer. If you're out there and about and want to talk to us today, go ahead and send us some messages. We're here and we're doing football, and I'll tell you what, I am looking forward to this one and have been for quite a while. Britons have a young man back deep that can take this one to the house at any time as well, and that's Isaiah Gibson as he lines up back around the 5-yard line. You'd like for number 6 to get the football and earn his keep here this afternoon before he takes that job with Tesla here in a couple of weeks. And it will be Gibson that will field it on the 9. Back up the sideline, gets a block. Here he comes. 35 and out of bounds somewhere around the 36, 37-yard line. One more block on the side, and he's up the sideline for 6.
Yeah, if Nate Shaw doesn't knock him out for Adrian, he might be celebrating in the end zone right now. Boy, he is quicker than a hiccup with the ball in his hands.
This is a quick team, and you're going to find that out here this afternoon. It is a team that likes to keep the foot on the pedal, and that's exactly what this offense will be here this afternoon. No Justin Thomas this afternoon, no explanation for that, but Justin not in the game this afternoon here for the Britons. So they're going to depend on some guys who are not normally their number 1 receiver. And again, Thomas, an all MIAA wide receiver for the Britons, out this Saturday afternoon. Philip Jones-Price is the running back in the backfield, and he'll get the first carry of the afternoon, sweeps right, and drop for a very short gain out across the 40-yard line. Give him a couple.
That's Kwiatkowski who came up and made the tackle. He has 54 tackles on the year, 9 2 weeks ago against Olivet. He will fill in a hurry from that secondary position.
That is the one thing about both of these football teams. They are not afraid of some contact as the Brits right at the line of scrimmage again with doubles on the home side. And they'll go back to that running game again, and again stacked up with very little gain as they get back to the line of scrimmage and not much more.
Well, the line of scrimmage early in this football game on both sides is being won by Adrian, and that was DeAndre Jennings, number 31, the defensive lineman, who caused the big pile, spilled it back into his all-world linebacker, Kyle Minder. This Adrian Bulldog defense come to play early.
3rd down and 8. Brits can't really afford to get down too deep here this afternoon.
Showing press man on the outside and on the slot. Too high safety.
Doubles on the home side with his slot receiver. Bush drops and throws this one, and it's intercepted to the 30, to the 20, maybe taking it at the house goes Tyrell Diener, and just like that, Diener goes 40 yards for the 2nd score on this Saturday afternoon.
Now ring the bell, it's time for Diener. Diener with the interception. All he did was squat on the route. Miscommunication on the out and the hook. Caught it and do what you're supposed to do when you catch an interception with no one around you. You run it back in for a touchdown.
Britons find themselves down 13-0 early here, and they're going to have to come on the comeback trail here this afternoon.
And you see Diener just striding it out after the interception for the easy touchdown.
40-yard return, and just like that, 13-0 with the extra point coming here. Good snap, good placement, good hold, and again, straight through the middle for the extra point for Cooper West, and it's 14-0. And I'll tell you what, if the Albion Britons do not have their attention. If Adrian doesn't have their attention right now, they're not going to have their attention, I don't believe.
There's some shocked looks on the sideline for Albion, some shocked looks in the stands and Jack Bush, who had some miscommunication with his tight end on the out route and the outside receiver, and Ryan Nolan, who's in the starting position for the first time today. Somebody ran a wrong route, tried to make an adjustment to the coverage that they were seeing from Adrian, and all of a sudden it's 14-0 rather.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a Saturday afternoon of football, and we have a lot of it ahead of us. Only 11:02 into this football game as Adrian takes the opening kick, drives it down after a short field, after a nice return, and only about a 40-yard drive there for their first effort of the day, and then the pick six goes about the same distance. So they've not traveled a lot of territory here right now, Miles, but those 80 yards have been pretty productive.
Yeah, they don't count yards on the scoreboard, just points. And if you're Coach Brewer, you're going up on the sideline and you're checking temperature. It's telling guys, hey, there's a lot of time left in this game.
Gibson going to return this now in front of the Bulldogs side, and he'll get close to the 40-yard line before he's tumbled out of bounds. And the Britons offense will come back on the field for the second time. I was a little surprised that they ran the ball on first and second down last time. That's kind of very un-Albion Britain-like.
Trying to establish the run early, control that line of scrimmage. But, Jim, if I'm Jim Deere, the head coach of Adrian, I'm going over to my special teams coach, Toby Ernst, and I'm saying, number 6 back there, let's not kick it to him. He scares me.
And I think Kenny has an announcement here for us. Kenny?
Got some shout-outs to pass along from Jim Bellamy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Broadcast, guys, and go Brits. And one more from Richard Ritter. He says, Dick Ritter, class of 66, watching from Venice, Florida. Western number 1 is from Palmetto, Florida, not Walled Lake.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you.
There you go. Thank you, sir. So a nice gain on first down of 7 yards. A little bit better offensive start to this one for the Britons.
Stephen Wassil, the offensive coordinator, first drive, tried to go lateral. Let's see what they can do when we go right at them. Got 7 yards on first carry.
And they'll go right back at it again. This will be a first down out across midfield again for Jones Price.
Yeah, getting the big fellas going forward. All offensive linemen, they like to move guys going forward, run an inside zone for an easy first down. Let's see if they stay with it.
Let's talk about that line when we get a minute here. We'll set that line up for you. It is Zink, Roskop, Jones, Testama, and Nexwander as the offensive front for the Brits tonight. They fake the handoff and throw the pass out into the slot. And up the sideline for about a half a dozen goes Adam Stuyvesant.
A little RPO action, something that Ohio State and Ryan Day ran years and years ago. Same concept you'll see with them, and completion, good sight recognition by Jack Bush.
And just as we talked about the big guys down on the field, we've got one on the field. That is Christian Miller, who is down. And the training staff out as we will have just a minute.
Officials timeout. Injury.
That'll be a huge loss. Christian Miller to center, and you saw in the last couple run plays, he was the guy making the calls, communicating who's got who against that 4-2-5 look of Adrian.
So he's down on the sideline, and hopefully this is something that will work itself out. But this is something that you have to worry a little bit about too, Miles, when you take a look at a team that has been off now for 4 weeks.
Right.
Okay. You can't simulate anything that even comes close to a football game while you're practicing.
You can run all the 40s you want. You can go ones versus ones all you want. You can lift all those weights, but there is nothing like the adrenaline that runs through your body when you're playing against another color.
That is a good look, though, as he gets up and kind of limps his way to the sideline, but that looks like more of a positive limp to me. Nobody had to help him off, and I think maybe just something that will be checked, maybe taped, and sent back out here shortly. So,
yeah, it looks like they're going to come over and take a look at that left ankle. Last one that get over there and get some tape is the winner. He's going to get some.
Ryan Nolan is the wide receiver right in front of us right now. Doubles to the top for the Britons. Handoff again goes back to Jones Price. And he gets wrapped up pretty much as soon as he gets the football, but we have a flag on the field. We'll have to see what this is all about.
Yeah, I think they're going to get a hold on the outside.
Holding. 85 offense.
This is what happens when your running back starts inside and tries to create. I think if he would have stayed true to the double team inside, would have got some positive yardage, but tried to use his quickness, and you don't know where your running back's going. Sometimes you reach and get your hands in the wrong position.
Stuyvesant, who is a freshman from Monroe, Michigan,
the Monroe Trojans.
Moving back across the 50-yard
85.
line and back into
Offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
to Albion territory. So second down now and about 13 for the Britons.
Good screen down or draw kind of down right here. Too high safety look. Look for Adrian to dial up some pressure.
Doubles to the bottom of your screen right now. That's Canfield in the slot. And right in front of us is Ryan Nolan. Again, if you just tuned in, no Justin Thomas this afternoon. As Bush drops, he's got time, throws that little screen pass, but over the head. And I'm not sure that Philip Jones-Price had turned around and was looking for that football when it went sailing over his head.
Well, great job by Sam Madrid for the Bulldogs. He was out in a press look, and at the last second came in on a zone blitz, and then just kind of chipped Price a little bit to throw him off his route.
Changing horses in that backfield right now as Ian Goins comes back in. Goins had about 43 yards in rushing against Trine in the opener a month ago.
Changing coverage. Bulldogs showed press, now falling off.
Duran goes in motions and settles in the slot at the top of your screen. Doubles on both sides now for the Britons. Bush has time, plenty of time. Over the middle, he's got his guy. That's Canfield. Canfield still driving, and he'll get the first down as he crosses the 40 to the 39-yard line. And that last little bit of effort was exactly what the Brits needed to move the sticks.
Oh, that's a huge conversion. First one of the day, Kobe Canfield. 9 catches, 111 yards against Trine. None bigger, though, right here, right now, to convert to chains.
So the Britons now seem like they've settled in just a little bit after having a shaky start this afternoon, and a chance to close the gap on this game as this one's across the middle. Caught inside the 10, there's a 15 to about the 14-yard line. Nice job, Ryan Nolan, to pull that one right off the turf here.
Too high safety, so what do? You run post to split the safeties. Great catch, getting his hands underneath it. A little ball that's down a little bit, but he went and got it for the first down.
Give that to 22 Teal instead of 21, and a nice pickup for the Brits. First down and 10 now from about the 14-yard line. Again, a quick pass, but too quick for Andrew Durand, and it hit him right in the worst spot, right in the hands.
Well, that's a tough throw because look at the angle. It's on top of you in a hurry. Plus, you're catching that, and you're thinking, well, where's the defender at? Bush has got to give him an easier ball to catch.
Mark Toko in the lineup right now, number 2 along with the Brits, and he'll settle down in the slot here on the home side.
That's a good answer by Albion after being down by 14. Got to come away with points here, Jim.
Durand and Nolan here, the other 2 receivers on this side. Sitting all by himself is Teal on the top. And they'll look at Teal across the middle, touchdown, Britons.
Well, you got to give a ton of credit to offensive corner Stephen Wassil. Saw the too high early in the drive and said, let's take advantage with the post, and they'd hit it twice for big plays.
So just like that, the Brits seemed like they started out slow and looked a little rusty, but that offense was in gear. 60 yards on that drive for the touchdown to cut that lead right now down to 8 with the extra point coming. Jackson Cooney, new kicker this year for the Britons. And like every other new kicker that we've ever seen, he knocks this one through, makes it 14-7. He missed that opener, that first kick that he had to make at Trine, and past that, he was perfect on the afternoon that first day. But those freshmen out there always have a hard time with that as we go back up to Ken for a minute.
Got a message from Chase Knopf, number 45, Go Brits. BBE means Big Brit Energy.
There you go,
nice.
man. A little BBE here this afternoon.
Albion
Chase,
class of 2022.
Chase, I can remember you playing, and it's good to have you out there being part of the broadcast here this afternoon.
Well, they had some BBE on that drive, didn't they?
They did have some BBE on that drive, no doubt about it. And it was a good situation for the Britons. Last time we kicked off, the return went for about 55 yards. This time, the Britain special team is going to have to play a little better football, I would think, Miles.
Yeah, if I was the Albion special teams, I would definitely, that's Justin Sweeney, special teams coach, kick it away from number 5. The rest of the afternoon, he has displayed that he can go.
Yep. Alan Roberson is number 5 back deep here for the Adrian Bulldogs. And Nate Shaw is number 20 at the top of your screen. And they'll go back to Roberson. They'll kick it past him, and it will actually go out of bounds at about the 3-yard line.
And I'm okay with it, though. He's not running it back.
35-yard line beats your 35-yard line anytime. I agree.
Now, huge drive coming up for that Albion defense. they can get this game back to even if they get the ball back to the offense in good position. Real important after giving that touchdown up that they get a good 3 and out.
Kick out of bounds. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard first down.
There you go. So the Britons defense comes out on the field. I don't think that they expected to be dominated the way that they were on that last drive, on that opening drive, and I would have to think there's a little pride on that defense right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see this team get a little bit nasty right now.
Malik Ray showed that he's proficient moving the football, carrying it between the tackles. Going to have to stop that running game for Adrian.
They fake the ball to Ray, and that ball is tipped up in the air. Britton's coming off that edge. I believe that was Noah Anderson that got to handle that one.
Yeah, great job. If you're rushing a passer, they're running by the quarterback early in the game. Get your left paw up, deflect it if it's going to be a quick throw.
Anderson with the tip. Incompleted pass, 2nd down and 10 now for the Bulldogs as this Britton defense now starting to settle itself in a little bit too. Werzer rolls, going to throw this one down deep, and he's got his man complete inside the Britton's 30-yard line at about the 26-yard line, and I believe that's Donald Scott, number 9. If I
look at the ability of Werzer. It's a curl flat and then an out and up with it, and Werzer is a wizard by throwing this ball. Boy, he didn't have much room, but found it in a bucket. Great throw by Werzer.
40-yard completion there between the Bulldogs and the Britons. Defense allowed them to get behind them just a little bit. Not going to be able to do that here this afternoon. Handoff this time to Ray, and Ray doesn't have much room.
How about the unbelievable tackle in open field by Donovan Slates?
Slates is everywhere. We're going to miss him. He is one of those seniors that will be graduating this year, and boy, it has been fun to watch Donovan Slates play football in the purple and gold for the last 4 years.
Yeah, if you're an offensive coach and you believe you can get one-on-one with your running back against a linebacker, you're going to win, but not that time against Donovan Slates.
Slates doesn't miss many tackles when you're in the open field. He had a little help with him as well. Brandon Camfield was waiting for him as well, and then Drew Schaefer was close too. Werzer drops. He's got some heat. Going to throw it anyway. It's going to be picked off in the end zone. Guess who? John Wester, who had the nice play already one time in the end zone, takes this one back for the Britons.
Yeah, don't pick on Wester because he will make you pay. Werzer believes too much in his arm right here. Throws it before his receiver is even close to being open. Throws it to the inside. Easy pick by Wester right there. Heck of a play. Big momentum turn because it looked like Adrian was going to go in for the score.
The end zone, ball was placed at the 20-yard line, first down.
Ball comes out for the 20, and the offense comes back out on the football field for the Britons. A good turn of events here for all Britons fans out there. As that Britons defense that was a little sluggish to open now starting to hit their stride just a little bit. And Wester, the sophomore, pulls that one in.
Well, Werzer goes by the gunslinger mantra. You better go ahead and throw it. That time, ill-advised throw.
Low snap, but able to be picked up by Bush in the turns and hands the ball off for a short gain by Philip Jones-Price. Shout-outs coming from Kenny.
Justin Thomas says, "Go Brits."
Hey.
Pound purple pound. Pound purple pound. And Todd Thomas says Justin is out because of contact tracing.
Ah, there you go. Now we know. How's that?
Okay.
Justin, looking forward to seeing you play some more. And from what I've been told, that your brother Kyle's going to be back this fall as well. So looking forward to the Thomas brothers maybe playing some football for the Britons here as we get into the normal football season. 3rd down now and about 4 for the Britons.
Yeah, Kevon Roberts and Kevin Smitherman for the Bulldogs being stifling on that right-hand side of their defense.
Canfield and Nolan here on this side. Single receiver up on the top, and that's Teal.
Last time Bulldogs played coverage on 3rd down, see if they come after him.
Bush with plenty of time, dumps it off across the middle to Canfield. He'll have the first down across the 35-yard line to the 36. Move the sticks, Brits first down.
This is an Adrian Bulldog defense that on the season's only given up 25% of 3rd down conversions. Well, right now, Albion is the difference maker on 3rd down. Another big conversion that time by Colby Canfield.
6:19 still to play in this opening quarter of football. Brits down by 7, but hoping that we're going to change that here shortly. We had flags in the motion early, and I'm sure, I believe the Britons moved a little bit too quick.
And if you're Jack Bush, you're like, hey, blow the whistle earlier in that, will you, please?
Kevin Smitherman was the young man that came in and deposited Bush here on the turf.
Yeah, somebody moved. We just got to figure out. Both teams will point at each other. Watch.
They always do that. Schmidt-Fraser
False
Field.
start, 22 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And for anybody that missed that, Pete Schmidt, the longtime coach for the Britons, was inducted into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame this past year during this entire COVID situation. He's the Schmidt in Schmidt-Fraser on a Saturday afternoon. Fake the handoff, throw to Canfield in the flat. Canfield with a stiff arm, working toward the sticks. He's going to be close. They're going to say he got it, plus a yard or two. It'll be 1st and 10 Briggs.
Well, Canfield has shown that he can find open spots on the zone, and the Adrian Bulldogs have no answer for Canfield so far. Three big conversions by Canfield early in this game.
Canfield had a big game, his career high against Trine. 9 catches, 111 yards, and a touchdown a month ago. He's actually an exercise science major from Stockbridge.
Now, Bush is a proficient passer when he throws on time.
Bush waiting, finds his guy. Guess what? Number 5 again. Canfield is hard to pull down. He'll keep both legs moving, one hand on the ground, and lunge for the first down. And I'll tell you, Tyrell Diener, who had that pick 6 a little while ago, almost lost Canfield entirely.
Yeah, watch Canfield use all 6'1", 207 that he carries with him to get out of the tackle of Diener. Canfield, the difference in this game so far for the Britain offense.
Britons have their linebacker or their tight end lined up in the slot there, and he was used as a fullback. The running play won't get much, though. 40-yard line for Jones Price. Pick up about 2. Set up 2nd down and 8.
Now, they must have talked to Jones Price to stay between the tackles when it's called, because he's doing a much better job early in the game. He tried to bounce, and they got the holding penalty because of it. Much more disciplined run that time. At
the end of the quarter, we'll check on the other game that's going here this afternoon, Olivet and Trine, and see where they stand in this critical run towards the MIAA championship this year with just 4 teams. Toss goes short to Philip Jones Price. Price will catch it, step out of bounds just short of that first down. It'll set up a 3rd down and a couple.
A tremendous quick read by Bush. Hits the flat to the open guy, and that's Price. And it's right. 3rd down and short now. Good convertible down, and might be 4-down territory here.
Oh, I can tell you, you've not done any Albion games yet, Miles. This is definitely 4th down.
I like it.
Even if we lose a dozen or so right now and the down, we'll still go for it on 4th. That's kind of how we roll up here in Albion, Michigan. That's what we love about this football team. 4:10 and counting, quarter number 1. Brits trailed by a touchdown, trying to correct that right now. Handoff goes to the running back, and that will be close to a 1st down. We'll just have to see. That might have been Clark they brought in.
Yeah, I think they're going to give it to him. Yeah, the officials are waving to go ahead and move the chains. Another big conversion for the Albion offense.
Ryan Roberts, actually 27 that came in. The junior out of Tecumseh, 5'10", a $170, was able to power his way for a couple for the 1st down, 1st and 10 Britons. Trips down to the top, single receiver to the bottom again, single back in the backfield with Bush in the pistol. He'll fake the handoff. He's got too many gold jerseys around him, and he's going to lose a yard or so as he tries to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, I like the fact that they're trying to run against 6 in the box. Zone read that time. Bush tries to pull it. Probably should have been better served to give it. You don't want your quarterback getting hit, especially when it's for a loss.
DeAndre Jennings and Alan Roberson were the 2 guys that had busted containment there, and Bush kind of met gold jerseys a little quicker than what he expected to. 2nd down, call it 11 now for the Brits. Bush drops, throws that little swing pass again to the sideline. Ian Goins with the catch, but he only gets back really to the line of scrimmage. It's a nice job by Tyrell Diener to come up and make that tackle this time. It'll set up a 3rd down now at about 10.
They got him a couple back to a 3rd and long. Diener playing a too-high look, a cover 2 look, just squatted in his zone, came up and got the tackle. Great job by Diener.
Brits will put trips to the top now. Canfield's in the slot, number 5. The deep man is Brendan Teal. Single running back in the backfield.
Looks like they're bringing pressure from the outside.
Adrian's got a guy standing at the line of scrimmage, Sam Madrid, and then he drops off at the last second. They'll throw across the middle. Canfield, he's got it in traffic and is inside the 5-yard line. First and goal, Britons.
Now they got Canfield locked up one-on-one with Jack MacArthur, the inside linebacker, and that's a tough setup for MacArthur on the inside slot. Canfield takes advantage. Another big post, an arrow route for a completion. Boy, they're picking on the middle when they need it.
Yeah, they really are. And I'll tell you, the connection now is starting to warm up just a little bit. This offense was a little rusty opening up, but it is starting to find its way here as we come close to the end of the first quarter. They'll go with the running back right up the middle. Philip Jones-Price, 4 yards and a touchdown for the Britons.
Now the price is right for 6 points for the Albion offense. And how about the comeback? Never say die down 14 early. Hey, that's just a little bit of a hiccup for us. They put 14 right back on it. Great efficient drive for the Albion offense.
So the Britons about ready to even things up if they can make this extra point. And what looked like a really difficult start for this Britain football team now is back to an even football game again as the extra point is up and through. 14 all. Britons go down 14 love and fight their way back to tie this up with 2:01 to play in the opening quarter.
Now, how big was that interception by Wester in the end zone? Really changed the dynamics of this game early. Could have been 21-7. Instead, now it's 14-14.
You got to love that. Well, again, you got to lean on your defense. As Coach Buer said early, you know, the defense is tough this year. There's a lot of veterans on this defense, and that was the side of the ball that really made everything work when they went down to Trine a month ago. And they have bent early, but now seem to have found their way here later as we work our way through this opening quarter.
Well, they got Christian Miller, number 78, the center, who went down with a leg injury early. He was back in on that drive, and anytime you have a veteran senior or veteran center back on the field, boy, that's going to help your offense.
Roberson and Shaw again deep, and they'll kick it to number 5, Roberson again at the 10. He'll work towards the middle of the football field. This time there's a whole lot of Britons around him, and he's going to run out of real estate inside the 20 at about the 19-yard line.
Oh, much better job of staying true to your lanes. Nobody converged on the ball before they were supposed to and pinned them in.
Britton's doing a nice job with coverage that time. And again, how much of that is that 4-week layoff on that opening kick where they allowed him to get loose for about 60?
Well, you get that adrenaline going, get those kind of giddy up and let's go, and you're a little bit unnerved, and so you get out of the lane, and all of a sudden they have a big return. But much better job since then by Albion.
Werzer again back under in control of this offense as he's again in the pistol look. Malik Ray, the running back next to him, and they'll delay and hand it to Ray. He'll find some room right up the middle of the field. 35-40 out across the 45-yard line before the Britons make the stop. And again, Ray very patiently goes for about 26.
How about the big fellow with the right foot into the ground and getting vertical in a hurry?
Yeah.
And he's a guy that you want to definitely arm tackle because you don't want to get your whole body on him. He hurts.
You know, when you get into a situation like this on the college level, you look at, well, they moved a defensive back over to a running back spot, but I bet if you go back in this young man's history and go back to the high school years, there's probably a little running back played by that young fella back when he was playing high school ball. Completion goes to Henry Wilson, and Wilson will pick up about 6 into Britton's territory down inside the 45-yard line.
A good read by Werzer, just a curl flat combination. The curl is open because the flat defender left that zone. Go ahead and hit it as soon as the shoulders leave. Another first down for Adrian.
Give him another 5 than what I gave him. Give him 11, and it will be first down and 10 with the clock at 1:12. Both teams' offense being able to move this football pretty well this afternoon. They'll hand it to 21, Malik Ray again. And before he gets to the corner, there's just too many purple jerseys, and they'll dump him right in front of the bench.
Oh, a heck of a hit on that sideline to get him out of bounds. Was that Nick Fannin that got him?
I think it was actually Ricky Pearson.
Ricky Pearson,
12, I believe. Yeah, maybe Casmer Johnson is what they're going to tell me.
Let's give it to them all. All three guys, great job.
No doubt. 35 out there as well, but I thought I saw a 12 on that number as well. On that stop. 43 ticks left in this quarter. 14-14 game. Boy, we're having a good Saturday afternoon here in Michigan this afternoon. As they give it to Ray, the ball's out, and he wasn't down, I don't believe. I didn't hear a whistle.
This sideline official's going to come in and say he was down, I believe. Had the hand up.
Ball squirted out late. Brits picked it up. But again, the official saying Adrian football.
Yeah, they're going to say it's staying with them. And Boy, that's a thing that you're going to be aware of if you're an Albion defender, though. Let's go after the ball. If Ray's going to put it on the ground, he has shown that he will do it. So go after it again. Big third down coming up for this Albion defense.
Ray got a couple. Make it third down now in about 6. This probably the last play of the first quarter if they get it snapped in time. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Werzer will take the snap and get the play. Throws it to his tight end inside the 30 to about the 28. That'll be a first down. That is Tyler Poyer.
Yeah, Poyer runs a little pivot route, kind of pin in the inside linebacker, and then back out to the sideline. Throw it on time. Good throw to the outside shoulder for a first down conversion.
And that will wrap up quarter number 1 here from Albion, as the Britons and the Bulldogs are tied at 14. We'll try to go up and take a look at a couple of stats here real quick in this ball game. I'll tell you what, it's been a good one so far, Miles. What do you think, huh?
Yeah, it's had a little bit of everything, huh? Some big plays defensively, some big throws, some big runs, some good returns. So if you like your football that's explosive, you're in the right spot today. This has been a fun game so far.
I like my football explosive, and that's why we come up and do these ball games on Saturday afternoons. There's no doubt about that. Let's see if we can get some live stats here for you. Live action. Here we go. 14-14 right now for these two football teams as I work our way through some team comparisons. Come on there, give it to me. 7 first downs on the afternoon so far for the Adrian Bulldogs, 10 for the Britons here early. Passing, 7 passing first downs for the Brits, 3 passing first downs for Adrian as we flip-flop the ends. And I'll hand that off to my buddy Miles so that he can take a look at it and give you some more stats as we get back into action here and open up a new 15 here in the Britain Sports Network.
Now, the one that really jumps off is third down conversions. 80% of them converted by that Albion offense. Been the big difference for their drives.
First down and 10 as Adrian picks up the first down on the last play of the half. Swing pass comes out to Scott. Scott gets met quickly. He'll only get a couple of yards as the Britons close quickly. The very first guy, Khalil Brown, to make that tackle.
A rushing yardage in favor of Adrian, 63-31.
Drew Schaefer also on the tackle there for the Britons. They'll give him about 5, so second down and 5 for the Bulldogs. Trying to put some more points on this board to open up quarter number 2. They opened up the game with a touchdown on their first possession. Malik Ray tried to get around the corner, but had his jersey grabbed by David Akama.
Akama has the strong hands. He gets that back jersey to slow Ray down, and his buddies are rallying up. Big third down, good second down stop to make it a 3rd and long. Albion's defense getting a little bit better against the run late in this drive.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Ray had no place to go. Even when he turned the corner, he knew there were too many purple jerseys in front of him to get too much. And Akama put the big clamp on him from there. It was a run of a loss of 1. Werzer got time, running out of time. Down dumps it into the flats for a very short pickup of about 1. Again, going down to Poyer. But right there, guess who was there? Donovan Slate.
Donovan Slate and also Drew Schaefer on the play. Good call by Mark Sheridan, defensive coordinator for the Britons. Playing zone so they could see everything in front of them. Just come up, make the tackle off their short throw.
4th down and 3 here. You know, it was a defensive stop to open up the third quarter against Trine that really turned that ball game around. This stop right here might be exactly what the Britons need to do the same thing here on this Saturday afternoon.
Watch the long count here by Adrian.
Werzer drops. Here comes the heat. He's going to throw it, and he's got a man. Somehow Poyer got behind everybody and into the end zone for 6, and that was Drew Schaefer. I think slipped down around the 2-yard line, and I'll tell you what, the junior quarterback able to sit there and find him and make the throw in time on the money.
Oh, he throws a 7 route so beautifully. Just takes advantage of the blown coverage because of the slip. Has the tight end wide open. Just lofts it a little bit for the easy score.
So the Bulldogs take the lead back on the 18-yard touchdown pass there for the Adrian Bulldogs.
Well, you get the feeling we're going to see a bunch of points this afternoon.
Snap was off to the side, but the holder was able to pull it in and make that conversion there as Gage Paulus did a nice job of setting that up, and Cooper West knocks it through, and just like that, it's 21-14. I kind of thought, Miles, this was going to be one of those afternoons where it could very easily end up being one of those 64-63 shootouts.
Yeah, wind up with an NBA score maybe, 82-71 or something along those lines. Both teams are really got their offense going at high octane speed right now.
See if we can find a couple of individual stats here for you, as well as both of these quarterbacks are really having a pretty nice afternoon here early.
Well, both quarterbacks do a great job of getting the ball out of their hands on time. And when Werzer doesn't have anyone open, he's able to use his feet to get himself for more time.
Werzer 6 completions for 6 for 9 for 52 yards as Gibson picks this one up on about the 5-yard line. Looking for some room, runs out of room on the sideline in front of the Adrian bench right around the 30-yard line. You're going to say he stepped out right at the 30. It'll be first down and 10. Shout out to one of the viewers here this afternoon.
Maureen and Randy Waller, Bear Lake, grandparents of Connor Smith, number 2. Say go Brits.
On the other side of the equation here right now, the Britons 10 for 13 in passing for 131 yards. Both quarterbacks have a touchdown, and both quarterbacks have an interception here on the afternoon.
And Gibson was getting his ankle taped on the last kickoff return over here on the Albion sideline. Looks like he's okay.
Take the handoff. They'll throw it out in the flats. They've got the completion there, completed to Nolan Ryan, and Ryan will get up the field close to that first down stick. Let's just see.
Ryan Nolan, you think his folks are baseball fans a little bit?
9 on that first down pickup. Will set up a second down and a short one for the Britons.
A good play action look on a hitch to Ryan Nolan to get him some 9 yards.
Here comes the blitz. Bush going to get rid of it. He's found his man. That's his tight end, Steverson. And Stuyvesant will take that football down into Adrian territory at about the 45-yard line. So Adam Stuyvesant, the freshman from Monroe.
Great job by Bush to avoid the rush, just slides in the pocket. And then watch Stuyvesant. One thing you like about tight ends, Jim, is they're physical players, and he's going to deliver the hit right there. You're going to be my speed bump as I get a first down.
First and 10 Brits. They're trying to answer that last Adrian touchdown. Low snap, and the Brits just going to have to cover that one close to midfield. That was a problem last week, or a month ago, when they played last time. Yep. The one turnover, the one fumble they had was a bad snap, a bad quarterback exchange that they lost.
Well, it's one of those things when you're committed to the shotgun, you know it's going to happen once in a while.
Yep.
It's a tough thing. It's an unnatural thing for a center. When he has a big fella going to hit him, he's got to snap it on time.
Well, and again, a new center this year in a crazy year for football. And the run will get most all that back and then some, as they'll go back down to about the 40-yard line, as the Britons offensive line really had a nice push that time. And we had to.
How about the block right there by Christian Miller, the center, number 78, going one-on-one with Kyle Minder, the all-everything linebacker for Adrian. He just drove him for nearly another 10-yard gain.
Gones with the run sets up a third down now and about 7 for the Britons. 11 to play, quarter number 2. Brits down by a touchdown here and trying to answer.
Dropping 8 into coverage for Adrian.
Bush throws it underneath. That'll be enough for the first down, and then some. Ian Gomes needed 7, got about 12. First down at 10. Britons, as we move the sticks inside the 30-yard line.
How about the awareness by Jack Bush, seeing that they're going to drop 8 in coverage? Well, you know what? It's okay to drop 8, but don't go past the down marker, and they do. So drop it off and get the running back one-on-one in the corner, get a first down.
Gones back in there again at running back, and they will hand him the football off the left side and up the field for about 3 to the 25-yard line.
Troy Smigelski emailed us at webcast@albion.edu, says, Coach Troy says, pound, purple, pound.
Pound, purple, pound. Webcast at albion.edu. If you want to talk to us here this afternoon, we'd love to have a little conversation and find out where you're watching from here this afternoon. Fake the handoff. Bush going to throw it. This one a little bit underthrown. He had a receiver standing down there waiting. Brendan Teal had gotten behind the coverage. but a little bit underthrown and knocked away.
Yeah, threw it on the line instead of getting some air in it, and as Bryce Tullis, who got the left hand on it, Tullis was beat for a post touchdown early in the game, so making another big play for him coming back from getting beat for a touchdown earlier.
Tell you, that one had a little more air on it. He'd have been beaten for a touchdown for the second time this afternoon.
Use that long arm. He's got some reach, as you can see.
A nice job to recover and knock that one away. So 3rd down and 6 now for the Britons. Clock stopped, 10-10 to play, quarter number 2. Bush drops. Blitz comes, gets picked up. He'll throw it underneath, and the completion will be down at about the 6-yard line to Andrew Durand. So Durand out of Pinckney, Michigan, the sophomore.
One-on-one against the safety, Donovan McKay, and it's just a 7 route. That time throwing it on line was a good thing because he had a small window. Bush with a timely throw for a first down for the Albion offense.
First down now and goal from the 5-yard line. Let's see how the Britons choose to deal with this. It is Phillip Jones-Price again in the backfield. He's got 1 touchdown already. He's heading towards the sideline. He's going to have number 2 as he scampers around the end and tosses the football over to the official after a 5-yard run for a touchdown. That's 2 now this afternoon for Jones-Price.
Yeah, great block by Ryan Nolan on the outside to get the corner out of there and gives a little bit of a window, and Price going to use his speed right there, plant the foot in the ground with the left foot and get his shoulders going forward for a touchdown. And it seems like, Jim, every time they need an answer, they come up with one to tie it.
Is there going to be any defense played this afternoon, Miles, or not, do you think, huh?
The 3rd down conversion rate in this football game has been astronomical.
This is going to be one of those afternoons where we may break the 1,000 mark in offense. And we've seen it done before in this stadium.
Not a game where if you're a defensive coordinator going in for a head coaching interview that you show this tape.
The extra point ties it at 21 here as we have 9.5 minutes to play. And another shout out up on the Brits Sports Network.
Yeah, so Grandma Wanda Belvin and Papa in Florida are watching. Congratulations on that nice play too, man. Go Brits.
There you go.
Hi, Grandma.
Wanda Belvin.
Grandma and Grandpa, is that your grandma and grandpa there, Miles? Is that how that works?
No, nobody claims me.
The way you shouted out there, that maybe you knew those guys. And, what a fun afternoon. It is a beautiful day, and I'll tell you what, a glorious day to be here at a football field watching a game. Oh my gosh, have I been waiting on this.
Yeah, even if it was rain or snow, it'd still be beautiful because, hey, folks, they're playing football.
Unfortunately for us, we get to do this one this week, and then they will go to Olivet next week, and we will not get a chance to do that ball game, but that's okay. We had 3 on the docket. Kalamazoo and Alma decided not to play anymore, and all of a sudden here we are down to just this one as they kick the ball again to number 5, Alan Roberson, and every time we kick it to him now, he gets less and less on that return.
Well, it's never a good sign if you're a return guy and you're looking up and your guys that are blocking for you are looking back at you. That means they're not blocking, and that time the Adrian special teams unit, they're all looking at Roberson, and that was a bad sign for him.
Maybe they're saying you ought to run the other direction. You know, you never can tell. So it'll be first down, though, again, and I'll tell you what, Jack Werzer has lived up to his billing here early on this afternoon. 2 touchdown drives already for the Bulldogs, along with a pick 6. That's how they have their 21 points this afternoon. And the Britons defense need to settle down and get off the field this time. Short handoff to Malik Ray. He'll get a couple as he pops through a hole on the left side.
Yeah, kind of reminiscent of Leonard Fournette, the way he runs. You know, big enough and squirts through holes. And his feet that are fantastic. Just looked like he had 0 there, got 4. That's how you know you're a good sign of a good runner. You get 4 yards when there's seemingly none.
5'9", 200-pounder, and he comes out of Hudson, Michigan.
Well, how about a football tradition there in Hudson, huh?
No doubt. Werzer thought he was going to throw it and then pulled it back down to find his man in the flats. He was going to try to go deep, and that man was covered pretty well.
Yeah, he had Wilson, and Wilson fell down on his cut, so he had to dump it off. And we were talking about Hudson a second ago. Remember, they had the national record was 72 wins in a row back in the 70s at one point in time.
I'll tell you what, a little town. But I'll tell you what, there's a whole lot of towns in Michigan, just like in Ohio, that are big football programs and traditions. And then you come up to a couple teams like Adrian and Albion with great football traditions as well. This time they hand it off to Ray, and Ray will have to work very hard for the couple yards that he got off the right side. Go right ahead there, Kenneth.
So I got an email from Kenyatta. So she says, let's go Brits. Get in there, number 51, Dwayne Leggett. Love, Mom.
There you
P.S.
go.
Dad is in the stands.
Well, there you go. And you know what? We have a pretty good crowd here. We are separated. We are socially distanced in the stands today. But I bet the probably got 30%, maybe 40% of the seats full right now here in Albion on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. That sun is out. It has got to be about 60 degrees. A light breeze, and it is gorgeous. And Adrian takes a little bit too much time. No, they're going to call a timeout.
Yeah, Coach Jim Durer goes over and says, hey, we need to call a timeout here because we don't like what we see. Had no flow, and the clock was ticking down. I don't think Worcester saw it.
Timeout.
Play clock
Albion.
was down to
They're
about
first.
2 seconds when Jim Deere came off the sideline and made that call.
Adrian.
First time out of the afternoon.
And good job by Coach. That's one of your jobs as a head coach, game management, right?
Yeah.
So if your offensive coordinator is not really paying attention to the clock and your quarterback's not, you better save yourself some 5 yards and call that timeout because you can't waste timeouts, Jim, in the first half.
No, you really can't. So it's the Brits and the Bulldogs here on the Britain Sports Network. 8:03 to play here in quarter number 2, and we're all deadlocked at 21 apiece. I think we got a baseball score here. Kalamazoo leading Albion 3-1 in the third.
Oh yeah, they play baseball in the spring as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do. You know, it's hard to imagine we're getting baseball scores on a Saturday afternoon at a football field, right, Miles? Isn't that kind of amazing? Werzer has some time. He's going to float this one out. Almost picked off. You can see him coming. Khalil Brown saw that ball floating out towards Donald Scott. And Brown was about a half a step away from pulling that one in.
Khalil Brown shaking the finger like Dikembe Mutombo at the Adrian offense, telling him,
Nope.
You're not going to throw it on me. Great athletic play by Brown. Looked like it was going to be another big completion, but Brown, he's in town.
Third down now and about 7 for the Bulldogs. Britain's defense like to get off the field right here. Get a chance maybe to have their first lead of the afternoon. Britt's going to just send 4. It looks like nobody. It looks like they're coming on a blitz. Werzer has some trouble. It's going to be flushed down the pocket. Got rid of it, got stuffed, and put the ball in the money. And I'll tell you what, Henry Wilson couldn't pull it in.
Oh, Wilson's got to be the sickest man in America because he had 6 points in his hands, but fell right through. Tried to run before he got it. How about the magician Werzer, though? Looked like he was going to get tackled for a huge loss, but flicks it up there. Almost danger time for Albion, then a sigh of release as Wilson drops it.
Werzer really took a thumping in that backfield, too. He got hit by 2 Britons who were there just about a half a second too late. And, man, how he put that ball in the money. I think that's part of the problem. I don't think that Henry Wilson thought the ball was going to be as close as what it was, and it hit him right on the hands. So the first punt of the afternoon,
Yeah,
and it's a low one. Bouncing, takes a weird bounce, gets scooped up. Britons with the football. Andrew Duran across the 40 and into the Britons bench at about the 42. Boy, that was a knuckleball. That was a tough one.
Now, one of the dangers when you run a rugby-style punt and you swing everybody to one side is you better have enough bodies on the other side in case it gets returned there. Albion takes advantage of not many Bulldogs on the left side of the field, and Duran gets a nice little return.
Duran brings it out about 18, almost 19 yards. It'll be first down and 10 now for the Britons at the 42-yard line.
That was a punt. That was weird.
That was it never got about 5 feet off the ground. It was just a line drive.
Just the formation is weird. We haven't seen anything like that in a while.
Not at all. Britons will go back to that ground attack. Head right side for just a short pickup out across the 44-yard line.
Heck of a fill that time by Kyle Minder, number 42 for the Bulldogs. Saw inside run, and he was going after like a Bulldog wanting a steak.
Helmet off, number 4 Albion.
So Price is going to have to set out for a play as his helmet came off during that run.
Got to keep that chin strap tight.
Picked up a couple of yards, second down now at about 7. They'll turn and hand off again. That's Goins, and Goins gets around the left corner, close to the 50-yard line. third down and short now as we go back to a shout out.
Kyle Thomas says, "Go Brits. See you guys next fall at Sprinkle Sprandle." I think that's an inside joke.
Sprinkle Sprandle, right? Isn't that it? Sprinkle
He said
Sprandle.
Sprinkle Sprandle.
Yeah, well, he's learned me do the games before, and every now and then it slips out the wrong way. My bad, Kyle, and good pickup there. How's that? I'll do better next year when you get back. Third down run's going to come up short.
Eric Tile, the defensive coordinator for the Bulldogs, dialed up a double backer blitz, brought Minder and MacArthur. That time it was enough to stuff the inside run of Albion. Big fourth down coming up.
And the Brits look like they're going to lead the offense on the field, or we're going to send a punter out late. Let's see what Dusty Brewer decides to do.
Yeah, they're going
Here
to punt
comes the punter. So both teams run into a little bit of a log jam there and have to turn the ball back over on downs.
How about the fans booing the punt? They want more points. 21-21. Keep scoring.
Ebony Brown says, "Let's go, John Webster Jr. sending love your way from your Florida family. Love Granny, Michelle, Auntie Ebony, and KK. We love you, Weastery."
There you go.
Timeout coming up by Albion.
Timeout. Albion.
They
They're
could.
first.
They might just
Timeout.
change their mind as they come to the sideline right now.
Well, I
here
think Coach
at
waited too long.
Sprandle Stadium. How's that? Yeah.
Yeah, he waited too long on the decision, so then the time clock was going down a little bit too far, calls the timeout. But you're right. If you're Adrian, you got to be punt safe mode. Could be a fake if they come back with a punt team, or you got to keep your first team defensive personnel out there in case they come back with the first O.
We're going to pass on one more shout out here while we got time. This is from Kevin Webster. This is John's uncle, and I'm watching from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Go Brits.
All right. We've got people watching all around the country. It's fourth down now and a short 3 for the Britons, who look like they're going to kick this ball away.
And they got the punting unit back on the field after the timeout with 6:03 left in this half. The way this game's gone, it might still mean 4 more possessions per team with 6:03 left.
Roberson drops back deep. And for the Britons right now, Hunter Williams in to kick for the first time this afternoon. Good snap. Here comes the rush. Nice, big, high, booming kick that'll go down at the 1 and then backspin out of bounds at the 3.
Boy, Jim, how about that? Go play golf with him because he can put it close to the hole.
That was actually Kwiatkowski, the Kwiatkowski back to return that one. And he thought he was going to be safe to allow that to hit on the 1 yard line and let it roll inside. They say it actually crossed the out of bounds stripe at the 1. It will be first down and 10.
It was about 100 yards out and a chip and a putt away from par.
First down. Let's see if this Britons defense can make magic out of that nice punt. Sprinkle, sparkle, sprindle, sprinkle, sparkle, whatever, man. It comes out every now and then a little bit strange, but we always know where we're at. Sprandle Stadium here on the campus of Albion, Michigan. They'll turn and hand that ball off to Malik Ray, and Ray will not find much room as he comes up the field about a half a yard.
They brought a little pressure inside, and why not? You got him pinned. If you can keep them inside the 10-yard line and make them punt, the field position is going to be advantageous for your next offensive possession.
Paulus, number 0, shifts all the way over to the other side. He's the wide receiver to the top of your screen. On this side, Henry Wilson, the young fellow that missed a touchdown on that last drive that they had on a beautiful pass by Werzer, and they'll go back to the ground again, and the Britons again tough against that run. I don't think they got anything, Miles, on that carry.
Now watch Jennings make or rather Donovan Slates make a play again, just fills that B-gap hole. Boy, you're running one-on-one against Donovan Slates. That is a tough thing. That was the best run play of the day for Adrian. Went back to it, but that time Albion stood tall on it.
Third down now and about 8 for the Bulldogs after pickups of about a yard each try here from the 1 yard line.
Yeah, it's tough to call this for Harry Miller, Harry Bailey, the offensive coordinator for Adrian. Tough call here on third down and long inside your own 3.
You're going to have to drop your quarterback in the end zone if you're going to throw it, and there he is. And here comes the blitz, and he throws it away to avoid the sack. Do we have a grounding call, maybe? There's no gold jerseys in the flat, and Werzer's on the ground in the end zone.
I think they're going to rule that his arm was hit. He was trying to hit that route to the right-hand side, and as he's coming through, the contact stops him from throwing it deep.
Wow. Good job by Slates and the rest of the Britons to make that happen, as we have all kinds of stuff coming off the top of the roof right now.
Well, one of the decisions you have to make right here if Albion, Justin Sweeney, special teams coach, do you go after it right here because they're inside their own 5, or you play for the return? Looks like they're going to set up for the return.
Khalil Brown back for the Britons along with Duran.
Got it.
And he's going down. Well, there's a couple different ways that you can take the lead in a football game, Miles. That's one of them right there.
Hey, you can dance if you want to. Just leave yourself behind because it's the safety dance.
23-21, Britons with magic in the end zone on that kick. And I'll tell you, when the ball bounced out of bounds at the 1, you just had that feeling that good things were going to start happening for the guys in the home jerseys.
Yeah, that was a bum rush. Everybody was through, and Andrew Duran comes up with a big tackle for the safety. And then Adrian will be punting or kicking from the 20-yard line. This is a big moment in this game because Albion promises to have great field position with 4:31 left, up by 2.
Oh, boy, this has been a fun afternoon. Stretching our legs. The Brits now starting to find their legs stretched out a little bit as well, as they're starting to find their stride here on their home floor.
I like the aggressive call going after the punt right there. Even if they wouldn't have got it, probably still got great field position, but got 2 points.
Joel Manzanares, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, from Sigma Nu Fraternity. Says, get after it, boys. Pound, purple, pound.
There you go. Pound, purple, pound. That's exactly what we did right there.
All right, free kick coming up here for Adrian on the punt.
Isaiah Gibson back here with a couple of helpers back around the 30-yard line. And they will punt that out. Durandon will catch it at the 38, looking for a wall right up the middle of the field. He'll get to midfield and be down right there. Isaiah Gibson in a battle over here with Nate Shaw, and Shaw actually ripped Gibson's helmet off as they were wrestling back around the 35-yard line.
You see Durant take it down all the way to midfield. Great field position now. Jim, what I used to like to do, if you had an opportunity like this and you got the other team on the ropes, go for a big shot right away on first down. You got your favorite trick play or a vertical route, go ahead and dial it up right now.
4:23 to play in the opening half. The Britons with the safety go up 23-21, have the football back right at the midfield stripe. And Philip Jones-Price will be the running back again behind Jack Bush, who sits there in the pistol at the 45.
Condensed formation, look for crossing routes out of this.
Low snap, they'll give it to Price. Price has got trouble, and it'll be dropped in the backfield for a loss of a couple, and that is Kyle Minder, the young fella who was the MIAA Player of the Week 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, how about Minder one-on-one with the quickness of Price, and he was not bothered at all. Took him to the ground.
Again, that low snap really killed the rhythm of that play, but Minder was right there to make it when that happened. Under 4 to play now in the first half. They'll fake the run. They'll throw it across the middle, and that one was almost thrown to Sam Madrid.
The inside fake, thought they'd have it open because they brought backer blitz that time, but it's really well covered. Miscommunication on the route between Canfield and Bush.
Canfield was the intended receiver, and if that ball would have gone up the field, Canfield really was behind Madrid. But the ball a little bit underthrown, and again, I think you're right. Canfield was going deep. Bush thought he was cutting that across the center, and he almost threw the pick. Third down now and about 12 for the Britons. Let's see if they can pick this up. Bush, plenty of time, lets it go across the middle of the field, but overthrown again for Canfield, who had a bit of a seam down at the 25-yard line. And the Brits, after that safety and great field position in midfield, are going to be forced to kick this one back.
Yeah, Bush kind of talked himself into a little more pressure than was there. Great pickup by Jarrett Nicewinder, number 70 on the blitz, the right tackle for Albion. Had a little more time than what they thought. Huge stop here for Adrian with 3:46 left.
Kwiatkowski will go back deep, and the last time he saw a kick come his way, he watched it bounce out of bounds at the 1.
Yeah, this has been a great weapon in this game for Albion, the punt.
Hunter Williams back to kick it again with 3:46 to play in the opening half. We're going to have Marissa Smigo with us here, the SID. A long boom and punt, and this one will get into the end zone and bounce through the end zone as Kwiatkowski watched it go over his head.
Great decision. Usually put your heels at about the 7. If it goes over your head, you let it go because the chances are it's going to go in the end zone. That time the rule stayed true. The time before, not so much.
50-yard kick, no return, and the ball will be placed on the 20-yard line, first down and 10 now for the Bulldogs.
Caught it in between here with 3:39 left if you're Adrian, right? Do you go full octane, try to get some movement, or you run the risk of giving the ball back to Albion here with 3:39 back?
Brits get the ball to open up the third quarter, so I would guess that Adrian's offense is going to try to put this thing in gear as they go to a run play with Ray to open things up, and Ray out to about the 28-yard line. Close to that first down, it'll be a couple short.
Well, they love that counter play. About the 6th time they've run it today. Great seal and seal that allows Ray to get vertical. Positive yardage, 9 yards on first down.
Britain's defense would like to hold right now and give that offense one more shot before this half. Maybe try to score some points and then add on to them to open up the third quarter.
Yeah, nice play call by Harry Bailey, the offensive coordinator for Adrian. Run the ball, get some yards, and see where you're at, and you can go.
Go back to Ray again, and he'll have just enough for the first down as he finds an opening on the left side, squirts through for a couple.
Well, for a guy that really isn't a full-time running back, he's been impressive so far today, Jim.
No, he has been.
How about that left hand where he used it to brace himself to get positive yardage?
It's amazing. He's done a wonderful job, but again, I'd like to go back to his high school career. I bet there were some times when he lined up on a Friday night in the backfield. He just looks like that kind of fella. 2:44 and counting. Werzer going to roll and look downfield. Throws across the middle. Almost picked off. Boy, the Brits had all kinds of people. Drew Schaefer there first, and then it bounced around, and there were 3 Britons that looked like they had a shot at it.
Now, Werzer commits a cardinal sin. You throw back to the middle late. It usually results in an interception. Very fortunate for Adrian that it wasn't picked off, and that would have been a real big momentum change in this football game.
Stops the clock with 2.5 to play here in the opening half. Second down and 10 now for the Bulldogs. Britons would love to come away with a takeaway. They'll go back to the ground again, and again, not much running room for Ray. He pops through the hole, and the next thing you know, he had a great big old shirt on him, and Mitchell Aronson.
Yeah, Aronson, tremendous job of going down the line of scrimmage and playing the leverage that you're taught. Your down lineman goes down, you go down with him, play on that hip, and makes a tackle on Ray.
You know, one of the things that might be telling, Aronson was not on this football field when they were telling everybody, all the seniors here, to open up this game as well. So not sure who all's coming back, but a number of those defensive players this year are seniors with the opportunity maybe to come back. The NCAA has given them that option since this is such a crazy year to come back and play football. And, you know, when you take a look at it, Miles, you know, you're only going to come back for one quarter. You know as well as I do, a D3 football player is not like going to Michigan or Ohio State where you're on a full ride. When you come back, you or mom and dad or somebody's paying your way to come back and play football for that.
It is a tough thing, though, but at the same time, you have to weigh. This was going to be the last time I ever get a chance to put football pads on. So if you can play as long as you can, go ahead and play.
And we'll see how many of those young fellows come back, as Dusty was very optimistic in our pregame show with several of these seniors, and he expects several of them to come
Game
back.
clock, 2 minutes and 45 seconds, please.
Okay, so
on the play clock, 25 seconds.
So they will reset the game clock, which if the Britons can hold here and get off the field will give them a ton of time to be able to try to punch one in.
Both teams with 2 timeouts in their back pocket, so really a big down. If Adrian can convert, maybe they'll go hurry up, but if you get a stop here, as Adrian, or Albion rather, call their second timeout of the half.
So Adrian has the football, and they are trying to, the officials right now, trying to work a couple things out. Got the clock set back to where they wanted to have it, but now Still a little confab down there about the 25-yard line. I'd like to have their mics on right now and hear what they're talking about.
Well, how would you like to be this sideline official here? All the other guys are in there talking, and they leave you out.
They might be talking about him.
It could
that might be,
yeah.
That might be why he's over here.
They're probably deciding whether they're going to go eat after this and leaving him out of it.
The top of the fifth is now Kalamazoo 5, Albion 1.
5-1 Kalamazoo on top of the Albion baseball team here in the same complex this afternoon. Boy, this is a perfect day for a baseball game, and you know it's even nicer for a football game for my
I'll
money.
take this weather anytime. Best spring football I've seen.
Reset to 2-1-5. 2-1-5, please.
Okay, so we're going to take 30 seconds now off the clock.
Yeah, best spring football I've seen, Jim, since the mid-'80s when the USFL was in existence.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. 2:15 to play now. Brits need to hold right here and get that offense back on the football field, because we all know that Britain's offense can score in 2 minutes very easily.
Showing pressure, Albion, and it looks like it's going to be a pass because Ray was pointing out blitz pickup responsibilities in that Adrian backfield.
Britons now have 6 guys along that front line. Who's coming, who's dropping back?
Too high safety. Looks like a cover 3 roll.
Worcester gets it. Here comes the heat.
Balls up, balls
corner.
up. Balls up.
And it is caught out around the 48-yard line for the first down.
Got a little play-by-play by the white hat there.
Yeah. Poyer was the young man that they were able to find standing in front of his bench out around the 47-yard line. The blitz did not get there in time, and Worcester made the Britons pay as we go down under 1:40 to play in this opening half.
So we got a shout out from Scott Douglas. He says, watching from Caraco. Go Brits.
There you go. Worcester taking his time, letting the clock roll down. Gives it again to Ray. Ray will cross the 50 and then get thumped right around the 48-yard line.
Got some serious contact. You want to run the football? Nick Fannin says, all right, I'll hit you.
Come on down. And with that,
another stoppage of the clock. Officials got to figure things out here.
First down.
Sideline warning. First warning.
Okay.
Albion.
There you go. Everybody wanting to get out and get into the game.
That's just one of those things where you have a guy assigned to it on your staff. And if you're the head coach, you look at him like, what are you doing, man? Why are you letting those guys get too close? And it's tough because all those players want to get on the field.
2nd down and 5 now for the Bulldogs. Heading towards a minute to play in the opening half.
Look for an under combination route.
Here comes a late delayed blitz, and Worcester able to hit Poyer again. Boy, that has been his outlet savior so many times this afternoon. Poyer's going to pick up almost 25 on that catch.
Yeah, Worcester's such a smart quarterback. Sees blitz, well, you're going to have a wide zone open, so you're going to hit your tight end. That's what your tight ends do. They're your best friend against a blitz.
And Adrian allows the clock to continue to run. Both teams with 2 timeouts right now. Adrian going to let the clock run as far as they can and hope to score right at the end of this first half. Worcester drops. He's got time. Throws it across the middle, and he's got his man for the hookup for the touchdown. It's Henry Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson, who had the big drop earlier in this half, but comes up big right before half. Moments ago, looked like they're going to have to punt it back to Albion, but nope, big conversion and another touchdown. Worcester, he's such a magician. Great throw, great catch. Touchdown Bulldogs.
Got behind the defensive back in the end zone, and Worcester able to put the ball right on the money. And again, we talk about this, but Wilson and Scott, both upperclassmen on this team, and both of those wide receivers very capable of getting down and making you pay. And just like that, with 36 seconds to play in the first half, the Brits are going to find themselves down, and they jump off sides. Extra point is kicked and good, and now we'll just see if they'll take that point off the board and go for 2 possibly because of the safety.
Yeah, might do it because you have the big powerful running back in Ray. Kick was good. You see the lineman say, Coach, let's go for 2. I think Coach Deere's going to say, let's go ahead and take the point.
Let's see what he decides right now. The point will make it 28-23, a 5-point cushion.
Yeah, 6 and 5, big difference.
Yeah. And let's just see what Jim Deere decides that he wants to do.
Rolling on the field. The defense was in the backfield. At that time, we blew the whistle to kill it. We're going to have an extra point now.
Okay, so they
blew it dead. Now they're going to have to redo it because the kick doesn't count because they blew it dead. And that will make Coach Jim Deere very upset because you want that free point.
Well, we'll see what he's going to do now, though. Will he send the kicker back on, or when they move that ball down to the 1, will he send his offense back out?
Well, somebody called timeout. We'll find out who because they're going to discuss their options here.
I would have to think that good possibility it was Adrian to think that through.
Yeah, sometimes you'll call timeout here. You'll talk to your offensive coordinator. Hey, what do you like here? Do we have a solid play to go with this?
Yep, and it was Adrian as they've taken that one timeout off of the board here. So Adrian with one
Ruling
timeout
will be
left.
a dead ball foul. Offsides, defense, half the distance.
Yeah, so you'll be on the 1.5-yard line, and Urban Meyer used to say if you can't get a yard when you need it, you don't deserve to win games anyhow.
Yep, and I do believe you're seeing the offense come back on the field of play here for the Adrian Bulldogs. So they will disdain that 1 and try to get 2. And Jack Werzer is a likely candidate to run this football. This is his spot. He has a number of 1-yard touchdown runs in his career. So you need to watch the quarterback as well, and that is normally the guy that you don't worry about too much. Prince, intercept. They're going the distance. 40, 50, 40, 30. Ricky Pearson's going to take it to the house. Boy, there's a surprising turn of events.
It sure is. Hey, Coach Deere said let's go for 2. He didn't think it would be this 2.
Coach Buer said let's go for 2 as well. How's that, huh?
Wow, but Ricky Pearson stepping up big after giving up the touchdown moments ago. Gets 2 points back on the board. This game's had a little bit of everything so far, Jim.
And you know, that rule that was changed a couple of years ago really does have everybody kind of on their heels. I don't think anybody's comfortable with that one yet. When Pearson caught it and started up the sideline, he knew where he was going with that ball.
He sure
but those
did.
Bulldogs were sitting there for a half a second going, well, he can't. Oh, yes, he can. and then they had to chase, and that is not a good thing when you're 10 yards behind.
A great shot. You saw it right there. Our producer, Ken Reeker, captured the moment, and Pearson just sat in the flat, took it to the house. 2 points for Albion.
So the Brits actually cut the lead down to 2, and with 36 seconds left and 2 timeouts, a good return right here might set the Brits up for another score.
How big was the officials blowing that kick dead because of the offside?
So Gibson, they won't kick it to him. They're going to kick it short, and the Brits will fair catch it at the 32-yard line.
Great awareness right there, calling for the fair catch on a short kick on the little pooch. Tried to catch the Albion return team by surprise.
Got a shout out here at webcast at albion.edu from Henry Wilson Sr., watching from Grosse Pointe Farms.
Henry Wilson Sr., we have enjoyed watching your son, Henry Wilson Jr., playing some football this Saturday afternoon. I'll tell you what, we are Britton's fans, but we love D3 football, basketball, and athletics, and we can't help but root for both sides every now and then. As long as we win in the end, we're good losers. How's that?
Wilson, a heck of a player, and he's thankful he's got mom's athletic ability. Huh there, Mr. Wilson?
Back in the pocket goes Bush. He'll throw it across the middle. It'll be completed at the 40-yard line, and he'll get to the ground quickly, and probably the Brits will call a timeout. They do.
Yeah, good safe throw. What you want to do is complete it. Hopefully you get a first down and move the chains, stop the clock. If not, if you get workable yardage, now you start thinking about, okay, 25 seconds left. What can we do from here?
Ryan Nolan got about 8 on that first down catch and went down at the 41. 25 ticks left, Brits with 1 timeout.
Years ago, it used to be the inside draw that teams would run to see if they'd have success on first down with small amounts on the clock to see what they can do, but now it's turned into a little quick throw. That's what teams always have in their play call list.
Well, you know, I'll tell you what, we do not really know the distance that Jackson Cooney has, as we did not see him kick last year for the Britons, so we're not sure what his range might be.
I think you get inside the 20, you go ahead and make a shot at it.
Yeah, I would think he should. And in fact, if you could get it down there anywhere where you have a shot at it with just a couple ticks left, you'll probably give it a try, even if it's 55 or 60, just for the heck of it, maybe.
It's like Eric Tyhala, the defensive coordinator for Adrian, is going to play loose coverage. He's got 4 guys 10 yards or deep.
And the Britons will go with doubles here right in front of us. Singles on the top. Single running back in the backfield, but I would doubt that we're going to run this football right now with only 25 seconds left. Bush will throw it underneath the Canfield. Canfield will get into Bulldog territory and step out of bounds at around the 48.
Yeah, dropping into a dime look, and you want the outside corner to play outside leverage so he can get this turned in, but Canfield's able to get to the sideline. Another big timely catch for Canfield. Stops the clock, more importantly.
Only 6 seconds ticked off that clock on that play, so you've got time for 3 or 4 more plays at that rate. Screen pass. Boy, it was set up, but unfortunately we missed the block, and we were able to allow Mr. Diener to get in there. Tyrell Diener get in and make the tackle, and that'll cause the Brits to use that final timeout.
Yeah, it's tough ass to get Christian Miller to center out there to the flat after snapping it, and then he's going to be one-on-one to get the block on Diener. Diener, the better athlete in space, makes the play.
Big fella. The big boys out in the flats, really.
Yeah, he said, Coach, I'll block anybody in a phone booth, but don't ask me to run out to the open field.
Don't send me out here and try to deal with a young fellow like that. So that'll set up a 2nd down and 8. More importantly, 12 seconds left to go in the opening half.
Yeah, you always remind your guys in this offensive huddle here. We're out of timeouts now. That was our last one. So if you get caught in bounds, we got to hurry up and spike. Otherwise, get out of bounds big time. Everything you call should be outside the numbers.
Nice thing about college football, though, too, if you pick up this 1st down, clock does stop so that you can move those chains. So you do have that opportunity as well.
Becomes a fire drill. Hurry up and get up there and spike it.
Yeah. 12 seconds left to go. Britons will get the ball to open up the 3rd quarter, but they would like to put some more points on the board before we end this 1st half, as they have the football now on the 45-yard line. And you got to believe, another 25 yards, they're going to at least take a shot at this field goal before the half ends, you would
12
believe.
seconds left. Run a little quick hitch and get out of bounds and see where you're at from there.
Bush drops. He'll roll to his left now and throw that football to the sideline. Caught and out of bounds. And the Britons do exactly that. Nolan again with the catch. Down around the 33.
Little drive. Defensive coordinator's mind's nuts when you let a quarterback outside the pocket in these situations. Adrian loses leverage and Bush gets outside. Great throw on the sideline for another 1st down.
Now we're down to 6 seconds, and a field goal from right here is about 52, 53 yards. I don't think you're going to try that right now.
They're going to rush 3, drop 8 into coverage, and if you're the Bulldog secondary coach, you're saying knock the ball down. That's Sean Starks who's going to remind his guys, knock it down. Timeout coming up.
And you got to believe that's a good timeout as well by Adrian. You can't take it to the locker room with you, right, Miles? So you might as well use it and make sure everybody's on the same page.
It's the old basketball philosophy, right? They come set up for the last second shot. You call timeout, see what they're in, discuss it with your guys. And one thing I don't like, Jim, is when they still leave 2 linebackers in the middle of the field on this. Get as many guys back deep so you can defend that deep pass, because there's only one option here, throw it deep.
Yeah, that's about all you have. 6 seconds, realistically, maybe you can get somebody up the field, catch them on the sideline out, and have them step out of bounds with 1 tick left. But, boy, I'll tell you.
It better be a catch and throw in a hurry.
It's got to be in a hurry. You're exactly right. Wow, what a good 1st half, huh?
Sure
Adrian started, they were up 14-0 if you just tuned in right now, and the Britons have clawed their way back. They took the lead, and then the Bulldogs answered, made it 27-23, and they went for the extra point, kicked the extra point, but the Brits were offsides, so Jim Deere decided he would put his offense back on the field, and Jack Wurzler throws a 100-yard pick for a 2-point conversion for the Britons that made it 27-25.
Here we go. Going to rush 3. Got 2 linebackers going to get depth and 4 guys back deep.
Triples on the home side, but they're going the opposite direction, and they are getting out of bounds with just 2 seconds left to go. And the ball will be at the 27-yard line, and it will be an opportunity to kick. Well, you put the 3 wide receivers on this side. Sure. Obviously, you're thinking they're going to go deep, and they're going to this side. You cross them up and throw it short and out on the other side, and you pick up maybe just enough.
Yeah, got the wind kind of blowing side to side here. A little bit of a wind behind him, but it's mostly swirling.
44-yard kick for Jackson Cooney. He's 0 for 1 at field goals this year. And this one's on its way, and it looks, just short. Had the right angle, but boy, he needed about another 3 yards, and that would have been 3 points for the Britons. But instead, the half will end with the Britons down by 2, 27-25 here on the Britain Sports Network. Man, I'll tell you what, it's a good football game, and it's been a lot of fun. I hope everybody that's been watching is here this afternoon on the stream or WOSN or WNHO are enjoying the contest this afternoon from Albion, Michigan. We're going to take a quick time out, and we'll have Marissa Smego with us here, the SID from Albion College, when we get back here at halftime. Brits Network, football, spring football. I can't believe it, and I'm enjoying every minute of it, and we hope you are too, and we'll be right back.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But here's the thing. Can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Can one piece of paper really tell you my whole story? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or how anytime there was an opportunity, I was the first one to step up. Because I wasn't gonna let my life, my circumstances dictate who I was gonna become. And all of that determination, the commitment, the drive, that's me. And that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent like me. Oh no, what happened?
Dave.
Oh, I got this. Hey, kiddo.
Dad. I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? Let's take off his sweatshirt. Get rid of pictures of him. We don't have to look at him. Goodbye, Dave.
Mom, you don't understand. He's tagged in like 400 of my posts.
Well, I can cut out tags.
No, that's not how it works.
What is a tag?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love to share their first with you.
We're at halftime here, and the Britons trail 27-25, and I have Marissa Smego with me right now, the SID, here at Albion College. And Marissa, first of all, thank you for all the help that you give us all the time when we're doing all the sports around here.
Oh, it's not a problem. I love it.
We enjoy it, and boy, I'll tell you, this has been a weird year, hasn't it?
Weird is an understatement, for sure.
You know, you came over, where did you come from to take this job?
So I came from McMurray College in Jacksonville, Illinois.
Okay.
Yep.
And all of a sudden somebody decides we're going to have a pandemic on you on your first year this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everything has been absolute chaos. I don't think anybody can understand. So give the folks that are listening right now and watching right now an idea what an SID normally does in the spring around a college like this.
So a normal spring, obviously we just take care of the spring sports. So here that'd be the baseball, softball, lacrosses, track and field, tennis, and golfs. I'm the one who inputs the stats, so I literally just input all the first half stats right now. I make game programs, I update the website, I write the game recaps, everything on social media. So it's, as I like to call it, it's the jobs that no one knows how they get done, but if they're not done and if they're not done correctly, people are going to freak out. So I'm a lot of behind the scenes, but it's a lot of work and it's a lot of fun.
Oh man, it is a lot of fun. And so this year then, we had a little baseball, we had a little football, we had a little volleyball.
Yeah,
yeah,
all of it.
Yeah,
everything.
We just expand everything. And I don't think did they clone you at all, Marissa?
No, it's just one of me doing all 20-something sports right now, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that makes it really tough because we do have, normally when we're out here, maybe there's some soccer being played or lacrosse, on a different field, but to hear baseball scores being announced from the press box is a little bit unusual.
It is a little different,
game.
right?
It is. Well, talk to the folks just a little bit about how we got this crowd in here, because we got a nice crowd today, but they're all social distance and all those kind of things. How did that come about?
Yes, I will say that we have had a lot of awesome administrators, and then our athletic trainers have been great about following guidelines and seeing how can we get as many people in here safely as we can. A huge credit especially to Andy Lawrence, our head athletic trainer. He's been unbelievable. So we're on a limit per student athletes, but we have guest lists and they all check in. Everyone's got masks, which is awesome, and they're socially distant, but we're glad to be able to see some families here today and friends of student athletes here, students. It's exciting. It's good to actually have a crowd and humans again.
Yeah, that's been unusual, hasn't it? Because we did the volleyball last night. There were just a couple handfuls of people in the stands.
Yeah, the indoor crowds are a little difficult still.
Yeah, I bet they are. Hopefully we're getting close. Are we hearing anything on the horizon that says that maybe we're going back to normal anytime soon?
I don't know. I hope we are. Right now my goal is to get through spring. Get through spring, that's my end sight right now, and I'm hoping that by the time we come back in August, we can have a full house here at the stadium and football can be played in the fall again.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun,
That'd be a little nicer.
That would be a little nicer. Now, volleyball has kind of come to that real critical week. We're about ready to start the tournament this next week.
Right.
So tell me a little bit, and the folks watching now, how's that? Because I'm understanding that this is going to be a little different this year. The number of teams are going to be in the tournament as well.
Yeah, so back in the fall, the NCAA announced the cancellation of tournaments in Division III sports for fall. So volleyball, we're still going to have an MIAA tournament for volleyball soccer. St. Mary's did opt out of the season, so it'll be 8 teams. It starts Tuesday, and there is a championship, but also it's not a loser go home situation. It is still a 3-game guarantee, so there will be games for 3rd place and 5th place.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That is amazing. Will it be the home team and the higher seed hosting every week?
It will be. It will be. So we will host. It's official. We are the 3 seed as of last night. Big win over Trine for them last night. So we will host Adrian on Tuesday night. I think 7. We haven't made an official decision yet, so nobody quote me yet.
Okay, all right, no problem.
Right.
They flip-flop sometimes 6:30, 7 o'clock. It'll be somewhere in that ballpark.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that was a spectacular game last night. I didn't expect us to put Trine away in 3.
I did not either. I'm very excited.
Yes.
Mainly because a lot of my workers are on the volleyball team, so shout out to them. Love seeing them do what they love to do.
Yeah.
But no, it was a great win for the team last night, and I'm glad they can earn the 3 seed.
Now, are you leaning on Ava Smith a little bit this year? Because Ava was always our sideline reporter all the time. Is Ava around here somewhere today?
Ava Smith is right there.
There you go.
Ava Smith is working social media today. She says she misses you guys.
We miss her too. Hi, Ava.
We've got Cam, we've got Jenna, we got Mariah, we got Lizzie, we got literally half my volleyball team is right here. So they've been an awesome help. Unbelievable this year.
That is unbelievable. So how will this tournament then progress? I mean, we win. Who would we get next? If you lose, you go into a losers bracket. Is that what happens?
Yep. So losers go into a consolation bracket. So should we win, we would play the winner of Hope and whoever the 7 seed is.
Okay.
And then it would be hosted by Hope should we both win, or us should Hope not win.
Okay, all right.
And then if we lose, then it goes in the consolation bracket, but same thing, the higher seed would host.
And that is a nice situation. Whoever made that decision, I think it's a good one this year, because the one thing that all these student athletes like is to be able to play,
Yeah.
And then to be able to say, well, we've got a pandemic, so you can't do this and we can't do that, and you're not going to get a chance to play. And then the football side especially, oh my gosh. Right. And how about a SID that sits here and waits until a Thursday afternoon or a Friday morning, right. And then somebody calls and says, oh, by the way, Marissa, we're not playing tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great. I'm glad that they all are getting to play.
Yeah.
As a former college athlete, I know what this season means to them.
Yes.
So the last thing I want is to see them have games canceled. If they can get as many games in as they can, I'm here for it. I'm excited. And yeah, like you said, I don't I chose a job where I get to watch kids play. I have no fun sitting at home watching nobody play on the day.
Yeah, no doubt. So is this the career path? What's the eventual goal for Marissa Spigo?
This is it. I am born and raised Division III. I played Division III athletics. I've only worked in D3.
Okay.
So I want to stay in SID and D3 because it allows me to do every sport.
Yeah.
I joke I don't have the attention span to just do one or two like I would at a big school.
Okay. All right.
My ultimate goal in life, which I can do this as well, is to be the official scorer of a World Series game.
Ah, there you go.
But I can do both, which is why I picked that.
Yeah. Baseball, your favorite sport?
Baseball, softball are my favorites.
Okay.
I come from a huge baseball family, huge baseball family.
And did you play softball back in the day?
I did back in the glory days. I played softball at Heidelberg University in Northwest Ohio.
Yeah. And are you a Browns fan as well?
I am a huge Browns fan, Jim.
And our buddy Miles here is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
What?
How's that? So.
Oh, the Browns is the Browns, Miles. The Browns is the Browns.
You guys can have this past year. We'll take the 6 Lombardis that we have.
That's fine. We'll take this upcoming Super Bowl win now with the county.
She's calling the shot right there,
She's calling
Jim.
the shot. That's how it works, Miles. How's that? We Browns fans, when we get a winning team, we get a little cocky.
That's right. We're excited. Listen, no one thought we were going to make the playoffs. No one thought we were barely going to lose to the Chiefs. Everyone thought we were going to lose by about 40. So.
Yeah, entirely. So I think we have a football team coming this year and for a number of years because I think we're heading in the right direction.
I think so, too.
And that's why you and I are going to get along for a long time.
Absolutely.
How's that? There's no doubt about it. And we'll wear our Browns gear under our Britons gear as we come together on a Saturday or Wednesday or whatever night it might be. And you want to ask a question now, Miles? Now that you know that you're amongst the
I don't
the
know
enemy
you two.
right now.
I don't know you two anymore. Because they're dead to me.
Well, Marissa, this has been a heck of a football game, though, hasn't it, huh?
It has been. No, like I said, I'm glad if we're only going to do one home football game. I want to see something like this. It's exciting.
It has been. And let's hope the Brits can open up that offense in the second half.
Yes, for sure.
No doubt. Marissa Spigo has been our guest. Thank you for all the things you do. Thank you for all the stats, and we're going to get to those right here in a minute as we're doing the football game today between Albion and Adrian here in Albion, Michigan on a beautiful Saturday afternoon.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
Oh, anytime. You're always welcome, Marissa. How's that?
I'm here for that. We'll talk in the fall, right?
That sounds like a deal.
All right. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Marissa. And we'll go back and take a look at some of the stats right now, Miles, from this first half. And what a ball game this has been. You know, it was 14-0 here early, Miles, with Adrian getting out on top early. And then a good job by the Brits to fight their way back into this ball game and only be down a couple here as we get to the half, 27-25. And a chance there at the very end that have to maybe go ahead with that field goal that was really on mark, but just a couple yards short.
Oh, really good clock management and game management by Coach Buer there that get them in position, at least have an opportunity to kick a field goal. Why not, right? They took the ball from about the 50-yard line, got down just enough, close enough with 25 seconds left and take a shot as the clock expired, but just a little bit short, but a nice effort. And how about the nice visit you had? The passion for Division III sports really comes through talking to her. Wow, what a fun lady.
Well, that's the reason that I enjoy D3 football, baseball, basketball, whatever it might be, volleyball, so much, because when you get up to that next level in D1, how many of those athletes all think that they're going to play professionally, okay?
Right.
So all of a sudden they're already gone to the bank and saying we're going to do this at that next level, and only a few of them really have the talent to get there. This level, everybody knows they're not moving on. Their next job is going to be a marketing manager with Tesla, okay, or whatever it might be, okay? So this is their last time to shine.
Such a business at the Division I level.
Yes.
And a lot of guys think me first in that level. Here at Division III, it's more of a team type of thing. Guys want to be part of something that succeeds, so you get that buy-in a little bit easier at the Division III level, I believe.
You really do. Let's take a look at a couple stats here real quick. I'll look at the Albion stats, and I'll give you the stats for Adrian. How's that? It is a pretty good afternoon so far for both quarterbacks. Our quarterback here this afternoon, Jack Bush, is 19 for 25, 228 yards passing. He's got a touchdown and an interception. When you take a look at the receivers that have caught a ball here this afternoon, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different people that have gotten their name on the scorebook here this afternoon. Colby Canfield leads everybody with 6 catches for 89 yards. averaging almost 15 a catch, a long of 27. You also have Ryan Nolan, your buddy Nolan Ryan, okay? 4 catches for 35 yards and 12 as a long. Also in that group, Brendan Teal with 2 catches for 39 yards and a touchdown here this afternoon. Adam Stuyvesant has 2 catches for 23 yards, a long of 16. Andrew Durand with 1 for 20. And Ian Gomes 3 for 16. And also Philip Jones-Price has 1 catch for 6 yards this afternoon. Price also leads the rushing stats here for the Brits this afternoon with 12 totes for 36 yards and 2 touchdowns this afternoon. Goins with 3 runs for 15 yards. Ryan Roberts with 1 for 3. And also on the afternoon, Jake Bush has 2 rushes this afternoon for -4 because when he was rushing, basically he was running for his life at that moment, and that is just kind of the way that it goes. If you look at the defense here at this point for the Yellow Jackets this afternoon, they're being paced in tackles this afternoon, and I think Marissa needs to go back and check her numbers there because I'm not really sure. Got a couple of weird names. We'll just say that Ricky Pearson is the man that really has had the best afternoon of the bunch. He picked off that conversion and ran it back 100 yards for the 2-point conversion, and past that a whole lot of numbers and names that I don't think we're having some early on issues with numbers and names here as we get going.
One thing we do know is Donovan Slates has been dynamic again.
Donovan Slates has been extremely active this afternoon. And let's see if I can equate a number to Slates. We do have Slates down here for 6 total tackles. He has 3 solos and 3 assists this afternoon and has played extremely well this afternoon. Drew Schaefer, 5 tackles as well on the afternoon here for the Brits this afternoon. When you turn it over to the other side now and you look at the offense for the Adrian Bulldogs, can you see those numbers here in the sun?
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, now I'm still on the Albion. How do I get to Adrian here, buddy?
That was it. That was what I saw when I bounced over there. I thought, we may have a little problem going that way too. There we go,
folks. We're looking off of Jim's cricket phone
here.
Yeah.
Well, it's a flip phone though, Miles. Come on. It's.
I just like how you got the big numbers to help you dial.
It's trendy.
All right. Wurzer with 10 of 17 for 120 yards, 2 TDs, and of course that one big interception in the corner of the end zone really changed the game. It was going to be a 21-7 game, but an interception, and the interception on the 2-point conversion doesn't really count as an interception. It's just a failed conversion. They ran it back for 2 points. Malik Ray, 17 carries for 73 yards, 4.3 per tote, long, 1 of 27, 1 TD. Wurzer's got 1 carry for 18. That was a big 3rd down conversion on that first offensive drive that they had. And you take a look at Poyer is 6 catches for 77 yards. The big tight end, number 85, Scott. He's a big threat, has a long one of 40, but 3 catches for 48 yards. And Wilson, 2 catches, 35 yards. Had that big touchdown, their last touchdown of the half. They're down by 2. Should be a great second half. How do I get some defensive stats here?
Should be a defensive
category
right at the top. There you go.
I'm kind of new to computers still.
Yeah, well, that's okay. And especially, again, that flip phone is a little difficult to deal with.
Well, no surprise here. Kyle Minder leading the way in tackles for the Bulldogs. 6 tackles, 4 assists, 1 tackle for loss. And you got Jennings with 3 tackles, number 31. Jack MacArthur, number 32. He's got 6 tackles as well. Donovan McCray, number 1, 6 tackles. So Brandon Kwiatkowski, also from the secondary, number 6, who's been very active. He has 5 tackles, but those are your leaders for the Bulldogs. And not a whole lot of defense was going on in that first half. The big play for the Bulldogs was Diener with the interception, 1 interception for 44 yards, and he took it to the house. It was Diener time.
Yeah. Boy, that was a big play. That was the second score of the afternoon for the Bulldogs. Put them up 14-0 there early in that first quarter on the very first drive for the Britons.
Well, one of the things that will be a factor in the second half, Jim, is conditioning.
Yeah.
And neither team, especially in recent weeks, has played a whole lot of game action. So hopefully you've rotated enough bodies in there where guys are going to be fresh enough into that fourth quarter.
And, yeah, I like seeing the Brits already on the field right now stretching out and getting ready to go because it's warm enough now that cramping could be a problem here this afternoon as we go. As Ken has a shout-out from out in the Ethernet.
Dick Ritter emailed us again. He said, Jim and Miles, great job on the webcast. Both audio and video are super. Thank you. Let's go, Brits. Second half, really miss JT, number 1. Happy to hear brother Kyle is coming back this fall.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what, we are too, Dick, and we're happy to have you down there in Florida enjoying the broadcast this afternoon. How is the weather down there, Dick? Let us know. Is it sunny? Are you sitting on the beach right now? Have you been fishing? What have you been doing here on this Saturday afternoon in Florida while you're watching this football game? The Britons will get the ball to open up quarter number 3 right now, and I think, Miles, for the Brits, it's time to now get in front and then work from a lead for the rest of the second half. If you can do that, I think Coach is going to be really happy with things.
Well, it's tough to talk to your offensive coordinator and say, hey, we need to run the football a little bit when you see your stats are 19 of 25 for 228 throwing.
Yeah.
But if you could establish some run game between the tackles where Price in the second quarter did a much better job of staying in A and B gap with the runs, if you can maybe wear down that Adrian defense, run the football, control the clock, shorten this game, that will really help you win this football game if you're Albion.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting second half, and I agree with you. Conditioning is going to be everything. The Britons basically have to go to Olivet next week and play, and we'll check in on that game here in just a minute as well. For the Adrian Bulldogs, this is the end of the season. This is week number 10 for them. They will win this one today and go 2-1, or they'll lose this one and go 1-2. And if you're 1-2, you're pretty much out of the title race.
Yeah, we said coming in, this is really kind of an elimination game, and it is a lot of opportunity in front of these guys, and especially for Adrian. Might as well throw everything that you have because there's no more after today.
There is no more football to be played, but we're just happy that we had a couple of games here in the spring to get a chance to play some football here this year, because we were all worried that football season was going to be wiped out, and guess who all the coaches picked to win this conference this year?
Who's that?
The guys in the purple and gold, unfortunately, and we might still end up doing that here if we pull this one out this afternoon and then go take care of business at your old alma mater, Olivet. How's that?
Clyde the Comet. He's staring at those Brits for next week.
I'm sure he is. Going up to the MIAA site right now, and let's see if we can get a score on that ball game this afternoon. Let's see.
We are ready for the second
Looks like we are ready for the second half. We'll do a little digging for you here right now and see how everything is going on at this point between Trine and Olivet.
Walker Evans will kick it off for the Bulldogs.
Walker Evans set to kick it off for the Bulldogs.
Britons will send that one deep returner back there, and he is lightning in a bottle. Let's see if they will kick that to Isaiah Gibson or not. Kick it a little bit to Gibson. Gibson finds a little room, but he'll step out of bounds at about the 35-yard line.
And you see that little giddy up in the stride of Gibson right here. Doesn't allow him to get to the whole tunnel on that sideline. Steps out of bounds at about the 35. Hey, but any coach will tell you, you get me first down on the 35, I'll be happy with it. Good return.
I think that's just fine, as the Britons will now go into the offensive mode here. And that offensive is exactly what we need in the second half. Let's see if we can put 28 or so on the scoreboard this afternoon in the second half and find that defense to bring this home for a winner.
As a play call, you come out in the second half. Try not to use all your adjustments early. Save some for late. Just run things that you can execute early.
Bush is going to throw this one out into the flats. He's got his man, that's Duran. Duran makes a couple of them miss, and he's on his way up the field for close to a first down.
Duran was hungry like a wolf on that one. Quick little move. See you later. Going to get another first down.
Nice block out in front of him there to be able to give him a lane to run in, too. That's 10 yards for the Brits and a first down.
Really good job blocking on the perimeter. See them checking at the line of scrimmage, coming over to Stephen Wassell, seeing what they're going to call.
Looking over there at Wassell, I'll tell you, he is the leading all-time quarterback in a lot of areas for this football team, Miles, as that one gets knocked down.
DeAndre Jennings playing some volleyball at the line of scrimmage. Great job by him, number 31, getting his eyes up, seeing when Bush is going to release. Takes the hands and split, get your hands up. Well coached defensive line play.
Steve Wassell, here's some numbers you'll love. 6,000 yards in passing in his season, in his career. Had a season where he threw for 3,300 in one season. This time Price gets around the edge. Still running, makes a couple guys miss. He's into Bulldog territory down around the 47.
Yeah, a little bit of look like a Curtis Samuel, Buckeye kind of run right there. Got to the edge, has some quickness. I like the fact that he was falling forward for an extra yard there, Jim.
Jones Price gets us down to 3rd and 1 with that run. And let's see if the Brits will go back to the ground game to get this first down. They'll go doubles both sides.
Yeah, loose coverage, quick little throw to uncover, will get it.
And they will throw it out in the flat. That's Duran again. He does have the first down as he is forced out of bounds right in front of the Adrian bench at about the 43-yard line. There you go. What's Dick doing right now? Did you look at the picture on the screen? Oh, Dick.
Yeah,
look at that.
He's having a tough life, isn't he? Look at that.
We're going to be down, Dick, tomorrow, and Miles and I both have a week off. We'll just come down and hang with you for a week. How's that? Just underway, second half. Britons with the football, trying to move this down and take the lead. Deep throw down, and both the defensive back and the receiver get tied up down around the 10-yard line. Both crowds would like to have an interference call, but I think that's a good no call by the officials.
Excellent job by the officials. You're going to see right here, incidental contact, both the defensive back and Ryan going for it, and they just kind of get intertwined. I believe that's Bryce Tullis that is down.
Timeout. Entry timeout.
He was a Bulldog on to coverage right there.
Yeah, he was, and he's up now. Bryce Tullis, a sophomore.
And you see the frustration, and Mr. Tullis tried to make a play, got tangled up with Ryan, and they both tumbled to the ground. A good job, though, by Adrian changing coverage at the last second. Rolled a safety into a robber position, kind of fooled, made Jack Bush have to read tough.
So the Britons will have it now 2nd down and 10 after that incompleted pass on that first down play.
So one of the changes by the defensive coordinator, Tyala Adrian, is he's going to roll coverage. He didn't show much of that in the first half. That's something they're going to just try to slow down that that Albion offense.
Britons again with doubles on the home side, 2 backs in the backfield this time.
Doubling on Canfield.
And they give it to Price. He has room. Cuts it outside, up the sideline. 25-yard line. Ducks his head, comes back to the 20, and he'll go down right around the 21, they say.
This is a great design by Stephen Wassil. He's going to put all the receivers to the side, make them empty the box, and then come back, run to the short side. Great blocking on that left side of the offensive line. Crawley and Jones leading the way for Price.
So the Britons trying to establish a little bit of offense here in their opening drive of the 3rd quarter, and they'll go back to Price again. Price darts through a little bit of a crack of a hole and down to the 20, maybe the 19-yard line.
DeAndre Jennings using a great inside hand on leverage, pressing off the offensive tackle. Jarrett Nicewander turned it back inside to the rest of the Bulldogs.
Joanne Bartley says, shout out to our boy number 2, Connor Smith. Mama, Joanne, girlfriend Kenzie, and Aunt Lori.
There you go. Everybody out watching today, and if you'd like to, you can join us as well here. Albion Webcast at Albion Webcast. Let me go to this one here right now. Go back to the game. I'm calling the game and telling the webcast side at the same time. Webcast at albion.edu. We'll get it out the right way. I had it. It was trying to come out the right way, Kenny, but I was also trying to say what was going on in the field at the same time, and that one living brain cell just isn't in full force here at this point in time. It'll get there.
Good job by Tullis coming up from the secondary back in the game after being a little dinged up a couple plays before, made the tackle in open field on Price.
Ball at the 15-yard line now as 3rd down for the Brits. Like to come out of this with a touchdown, not a field goal.
Taking man coverage on Canfield everywhere he goes on the slot.
Bush right across the middle. He'll have the first down. Inside the 10, down to about the 7-yard line. Again goes Canfield. He got that tough yard, double coverage on that play.
Yeah, he does a great job of the press. His out move, gets the hands off and comes over, and Bush hits him right on time. He has a mismatch problem because of his size and quickness. 200-pound guy in the slot. Who do you put on him? A linebacker? He's not quick enough to handle him. Yeah. DB's too small. He is a mismatch. Tough problem for any defensive secondary.
First down and goal now for the Brits at the 7-yard line. They'll go back to the running game. Price looking for touchdown number 3, and he will have it. Boy, nice job to set up that block and then find the hole and just strut his way into the end zone. The Brits go back on top 31-27.
Yeah, for a guy that hasn't had a ton of carries, good patience, as you pointed out, and that's Jared Jones leading the way for him. Makes a good cut inside of Jones' block. Another touchdown for Albion.
We know both the Jones brothers are going to graduate and move on here this year, and I'll tell you what, those two fellows have played some wonderful football for the Albion Brits here in their career. So the Britons will go for one of the extra point as we get all the players on the field now.
It's good to see even at this level someone forgets he's on extra point.
Snap is good, and the kick, that kick might have been good from 42 yards there right before the half. But the extra point is good, and the Brits now on top by 5, 32-27. And I've got to believe that's exactly how Dusty Buer drew it up when he said, we won the toss, we will defer to the third quarter.
I did a great job formationing the Adrian defense, loading up a side where the receivers come back to run to the tight end side. When you get the box emptied out, great opening drive. You know they went in at halftime, sat down, talked about their first 5-6 plays that they want to come back to. Great drive to get this second half started by Albion.
65-yard touchdown drive there for the Albion Britons to open up quarter number 3. Now we need the defense to snuff out this Bulldog offense a couple of times and put a little distance between the two of us.
Yeah, otherwise, it looks like whoever has the ball last today might have an opportunity to win it.
And we have seen a number of those right here in Albion on a Saturday afternoon, no doubt. Roberson, again, the gentleman on the top side, on the Adrian side. And this one will be kicked to Roberson, who will take it at the 10. Straight up the middle of the field, the 20. Oh, my gosh, did he run into a stone wall? Right around the 25-yard line, Connor Smith lit him up.
Hello, Mr. Smith. Connor Smith fills it up in a hurry. Bang, right there. And if you love to play special teams, you got to run and hit, and Connor Smith definitely does.
There's always that conversation, Miles. Do we change the kickoffs in football? And
no.
I say no. But that is when those kind of hits often happen on a football field. And I say, let's have more of them.
You can't bubble wrap everybody in life. Let's play football.
That's what I agree with you 100%. Adrian for their first opportunity in quarter number 3. They'll fake the run and toss it up the football field and over the head of an open Henry Wilson. Wilson really with not really a lot of space as Ricky Pearson had him. But if that ball would have been on the money.
Yeah, pressure by that Albion front four forced Werzer to throw it a little before he wanted to. Inside fake, so you hold the safety, and you get the one-on-one on the fade route.
Second down and 10 now for the Bulldogs. Just underway, quarter number 3. Brits took care of business, 65-yard drive for a touchdown and the extra point to open everything up here in the third quarter. Werzer in the pistol look again. Fakes the handoff, drops back. Here comes the pressure. He gets hit as he lets it go, and we're going to have some interference, I believe, on the Britons down the field. That ball was well overthrown. Probably going to be a holding call more than likely down around the 43-yard line. 2
snaps, 2 times Werzer's been hit. That's going to make Coach Sheridan happy on the defensive side for Albion. A good sideline route, but Werzer had to throw it way before he was ready.
That was 20 yards overthrown. The only thing that I could see them calling is a holding call over there. It could have been interference, I don't believe, because...
No, unless it was Stretch Armstrong, it's not catchable.
Yeah, it wasn't. He was 20 yards over his head.
Pass interference.
Wow, they're going to call it interference anyway.
Number 1, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Wester, who's had a couple of picks here this afternoon, gets called for the interference call, and that will keep the drive alive for the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, tough call for Albion. Wester, I thought, had great position, was using the sideline as another defender. The officials are going to say he was just a little bit too creative with his hands.
Yeah. So instead of that being 3rd down and 10, it's 1st down and 10 for the Bulldogs as the ball gets moved out to the 41-yard line. Britons are so close to getting Jack Werzer in the backfield. Both those throws, they'll go back to the running game this time, and Malik Ray will have a short pickup up the center of the field. Give him 2.
Good outside leverage by the Albion defense, forced Ray back inside. Ray just has a little bit too much quickness, so still gets positive yardage.
Riley Orlando, the young man on the tackle there for the Britons. 2nd down and 8 now for the Bulldogs. Werzer again looks things over. They'll hand the football off again to Ray. Ray had nowhere to go in the initial hole that he wanted to deal with. Cut back and found about 9. He'll be close to a 1st down around the midfield stripe.
Look at the vision and the quickness to press front side A, then to jump backside C gap. That's an impressive run, especially of a guy that size. But Orlando, the inside linebacker, number 10, good job by him staying true to his form and being there on the spot.
3rd down now and short for the Bulldogs. They only need basically about a foot.
Tough to get. I never understand when you snap it back 5 yards to get a half yard.
Yeah, Jim Bellamy thinks the same exact thing. And do they get him in the backfield? No. What a sneaky little run that time by Malik Ray. Boy, we had him boxed up at about the 48-yard line, and Ray able to stretch it out and get around the end.
They're going to have a tackle for loss. Orlando almost gets him, and then the spin-a-rooney by Ray allows them to get the whirling dervish for the 1st down.
It's an Adrian 1st down.
So the Adrian 1st down will put the ball across the 50-yard line and into Albion territory as we have a shout-out here on the Britain Sports Network.
So Clint Walker says, hey guys, we're cheering on number 85, Adam Stuyvesant from Montrose, Michigan. We're watching from Elgin, Oklahoma.
Wow.
Adam's mother, Melissa, and stepdad, Clint Walker.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've got to be proud of your young man here today. He has played a pretty good football game here, much to our dismay, or actually much to our liking here this afternoon. Well, we got another flag down on the field, and it's going to be another interference call. And yes, Stuyvesant, Adam Stuyvesant, the freshman, basically playing extremely well for the Brits here this afternoon.
You're going to have 2 calls that late hit in the backfield. They're going to get number 91, Mitch Ardenson. He hit Werzer a little bit too late, they're going to rule. So interesting to see how this plays out.
Aronson, just another one of those all-conference players. He's probably getting just a little bit frustrated being a step or 2 short.
Yeah, 6'5", 240, senior out of Zeeland, Michigan, and would not want to be in the way of him.
Defensive pass interference, number 21, roughing the quarterback, number 91. We're going to decline that line. We'll go 15 yards, automatic 1st down.
So the roughing the passer call gets declined, the interference call gets taken, and that moves the football down the field. And again, some of these plays, I do believe, Miles, goes back to the question mark that you had at halftime. How is their conditioning after sitting on the sideline for 4 weeks?
Well, Coach Sheridan, the defensive coordinator here at Albion's got to be really upset because you don't want to help a team like Adrian out. And it's the 2nd time they've gifted a 1st down to that Bulldog offense.
So it'll be 1st down and 10. Adrian with the ball on the 33-yard line. 9:01 to play, quarter number 3. Dusty Buer was out talking to the official for a minute or 2 just to get things squared away.
Showing man under look on the outside receiver for Adrian.
Wilson is the receiver on our side. They've got doubles to the top. Werzer will turn and hand off to the running back Ray again, and Ray will be forward for about a couple to the 30.
Yeah, Ardenson plays a great inside pressure position, stays true to his gap and makes a tackle on Ray. And that's that counter play, the down block on the front side and bring the guard and tackle around. The counter Trey looked at the Washington Redskins made famous years ago. #1 run play for Adrian's playbook.
2nd down and 7 now for the Bulldogs. Werzer in trouble, eludes one, gets around the corner. He'll have the 1st down, cuts it back inside. He was going for the end zone, and it'll be dropped at about the 15-yard line.
2nd time today they have him in the backfield, but Werzer gets free with his feet, converts yet another one. Boy, he is so slippery in that offensive backfield, finds a way to get free again.
Again, only run the football 55 times roughly here this season. And when you consider that's over 6 games, that's only 8 or 9 times a game, basically. But he picks these times, and boy, he has had 2 really nice runs to salvage 1st downs for these Bulldogs this afternoon. Handoff again. Goes to Ray, and Ray had too much grass in front of him as he gets inside the 5 and dropped at about the 3. It'll be 1st down and goal now for the Bulldogs.
And a good job by Matt Tillell, the right guard of Adrian, the 5'11", 270 sophomore from Delray Beach, Florida. opening that hole for Ray.
Both of these defenses have had difficulties this afternoon getting off the football field. And that might be the side of the ball that's going to get worn out first. Again, they'll hand to Ray, and this time Ray will lower the shoulders for the touchdown.
Great play, straight up and good.
Great forward lean by Ray, had one-on-one.
John Wester was the young man that had the opportunity to hit him at the one, and Ray just lowered the boom on Wester.
Yeah, Wester wasn't shy, just giving up a little too much size to Ray, and Ray just using him like a speed bump, gets into the end zone. And every time one team scores, the other one answers back in a hurry, Jim.
33-32 with the extra point coming. And we see Matt Aaron making his presence known now, the AD here at Albion. Gonna pick up the gator and take it for a little spin. Good snap, good placement. Extra point is through the uprights. Make it 34-32. And you know what, really, that run back on that extra point may really be big this afternoon, Miles. You know,
well,
it's only a 2-point game right now.
Yeah, and eventually Adrian's going to decide to go for two after a score to stretch that 2-point lead into a 3-point lead.
Going to have to at some point in time, you would think. But right now, both teams have had the ball one time here in the second half. Both teams have been able to cash in on those. And it's a 34-32 game with Adrian now on top. See if we can go digging in here real quick and get up that MIAA spot. See if we can find out how Olivet and Trine are doing this afternoon. Fall sports, it's always weird to be sitting here in April and having to poke up the fall sports on the website. Men's football. Ball gets kicked down, picked up at the 20-yard line by the Brits. That's returned to the 30-yard line and then knocked down there. And that is Andrew Duran and Adrian now all fired up with a big hit on the return.
Yeah, I think they're going to call a flag for taunting and sportsmanlike conduct against the Adrian sideline. So that will negate a fantastic special teams play by them.
Taking a look at the score here for the I'm not finding that one there right now. So it's Albion and Adrian, the only teams up. In fact, you know what? They may have played. I'll have to go up on their website. It could be a situation where they play. We're going to play that one on Sunday even, or played it on Friday night. We'll go back and do some digging. The only game the MIAA has on their scoreboard right now is ours. Here we go. Now I found it. 33-14, Trine on top of Olivet in the fourth quarter, just underway in the fourth quarter. So it looks like Trine is going to win their second game of the year.
Yeah, they're going to call that one on Albion that time, Jim. They're going to say that something was not appropriate about after the snap of that play. And
well, if
somebody did something.
If you haven't noticed yet, Adrian and Albion don't get along real well, Miles. Okay.
It's almost like they played each other for a long time.
When you talk to the two of these teams, they will tell you that they have a different rival. But when they get together on a football field or a basketball court or anything else, as this ball goes across the middle and complete to the 30-yard line, there is always a little pushing and shoving that goes on along the sidelines all the time as Ryan Nolan scoops that one in at the 30-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, nice route on the post. Bush throws a little bit low. Ryan goes and gets it, picking on Diener that time.
Fake it to Price, toss it out here in the sideline to Colby Canfield, and Canfield will ride one of the Bulldogs out of bounds just across the first down stripe at the 40.
You're working one-on-one against number 11, Sam Madrid. Madrid just does not have the foot speed to stay with Canfield. He is a mismatch problem for the Bulldogs, and Albion taking advantage of him.
Canfield would have been happy to carry him right down the football field if he would have wouldn't have run out of real estate on the sideline. Delayed to Price, and that one was just a little bit too delayed as Kevin Smythman right there to snatch him up.
Now watch number 3 just play outside leverage, attack the backfield, and have the arm strength to get Price down to the ground. Huge tackle for loss for the Bulldog defense.
Junior was sitting there waiting on it. Second down now at about 15. Bush drops, looks, has time. Now he's going to run out of time. roll out of the pocket to the left side. He's got a wide open receiver up on the top side, and that's the young man we were talking about, Adam Stuyvesant. And Stuyvesant, mom and dad, nice catch into Bulldogs territory at the 41-yard line.
And look, Bush use his feet, run a fake corner blitz, and then only rush 4, so it fooled Bush, but he gets outside the pocket, and this is a tough catch by Stuyvesant because he's waiting a long time, and that's a tough one because you're thinking about it too much, Jim. Good job by him.
You can do that. There's no doubt about that. Give the ball off again to Price, and Philip Jones Price just about a yard on that carry as we have another shout out here on the Britain Sports Network.
So Henry Sr. is checking in for the Bulldogs. He says as they keep chugging.
Yeah. I don't know, what does that mean? Who's chugging, I guess, is what I'm wanting to know, Henry Sr. But the Bulldogs are chugging, and both these teams are really battling it out here. Toss across the middle to Canfield again, and he's inside the 20. Well, I'll tell you what.
I like it because they keep going back to him. You have that mismatch, so don't forget about it. And he is just beating Madrid like a rented mule all over the field.
These wide receivers have been fun to watch this afternoon, whether it is Wilson and Scott on the Bulldog side or whether it's Canfield and his crew on the other side. No Justin Thomas today, and that might have been a difference maker this afternoon as well if Justin could have played today. But there's no Justin Thomas here this afternoon. As we got a little hum in the headsets right now. I think that's all just in your headset. There he goes.
There we go, much better.
I think Kenny did something up there. He does that to us. I think it's it's a referee's mic that popped in. I was wondering whether that was some government testing going on there for us as this one comes up just a little bit short of the sideline.
I was going to say, I didn't sign up for the MK Ultra experiment.
Ryan Nolan trying to put his hands on the ball down around the 12-yard line, just out of his reach. It'll set up a third down now at about 8 for the Brits.
Well, one of those times where if you get close enough, now do you have the decision? Do you go for a field goal on 4th down if you don't pick it up here, or you kind of keep pressing and go for it on 4th down?
Yeah. I would think he'd grab the lead if you can, at this point in time, but who knows? Let's hope we don't have to make that decision as this one will take us to the end zone. Bush drops, time, looking to the flat. He's got the first down. That's no problem. He's got the touchdown. That's no problem either as Ryan Nolan on the inside finds the seam and runs it into the end zone, and the Brits go up 38-34.
Well, let me tell you, he runs a fantastic route. He's going to run the under, and they're going to drop the coverage too far deep, and he's just going to come right underneath the linebackers and gets through the seam. Good block by Duran to free up his buddy for the touchdown.
And I think your premonition is coming true, and I think it's both these defenses right now that are just a little bit gassed.
Yeah, this is one of those that if you're a defensive coordinator, you throw this one in the trash can, never look at it again.
Extra point is good, and the Brits go back up by 5 again, and we have a shootout going, and I would agree with you, Mr. Wilson, that both teams are chugging up and down this football field this afternoon, and I would expect that Jack Werzer and his crew are going to come out and try to do exactly what they did the last time they had the ball. Both teams had the ball. Both teams scored when they've had the ball here in the second half.
Can't say enough about the offensive line for Albion. Picked up that stunt and blitz combination that Adrian threw at him on that touchdown. That's Miller, Rosecop, Nicewander, Crowley, and Jones. Fantastic work, fellas.
So the Brits will kick it off, and we have tons of time in this one. And the Britons on top by 5. 39-34 with 4:28 to play in quarter number 3.
Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Steelers, always tells his guys, don't blink. Don't be the team that blinks. And right now, someone's going to have to blink in this game because both of them are staring directly in their eyes.
Roberson back deep. He's on the Adrian sideline. And again, Tullis over here on the Britain sideline as the Brits go to kick this thing off. And they have not been shy of kicking it to number 5 today. And he will signal for a fair catch at about the 7-yard line. Probably a smart idea to do that.
How about that? Went from an unbelievable advantage for Bulldogs early. Now they're fair catching it because they're getting stifled inside the 35 on every return. So what a change. Good job by the special teams coach of Albion, Justin Sweeney, getting that team from the first kickoff to a disaster to getting a solid effort from here on out.
Miles, tell me a little bit about that fair catch on the kickoff. Do you like that rule that came in place about a year ago?
I don't like any rule that helps guys avoid contact in football.
It is a contact sport after all, is it not? Yeah. All right, Werzer sets up again with Malik Ray to his left, and that pistol look triples to the top.
Over formation, tight end with the trips.
And they'll give it to 21, and he has very little running room, and the ball might have come out. Brits say they've got the football. Let's see if the guys in the striped shirts believe the same thing. Nope. They say he's down. It'll stay with Adrian.
Yeah, second time, Ray's put it on the ground, but after the whistle, running that counter, getting the block by the tight end out. But that time, Albion recognized the over formation that victimized them early in the game. Look at them excited thinking that they got the turnover, but referee's going to rule that he was down.
This is only the second game for Ray to play in the backfield for these Bulldogs, so you can understand every now and then he might have a little bit of a mistake, but he's had a great afternoon so far. This one gets knocked away, trying to throw it out in the flats, and Casper Johnson says no thank you.
Johnson, the outside backer in this 3-4 look. They're playing angle, take the angle towards the field. His hands are there, and it's an easy thing to do when you have a small quarterback. Jack Werzer tries to play the angle, but he's only 5'10", can't get through it.
3rd down and 9. Let's see if the Brits will bring the heat this time. Looks like they're going to man up with everybody out here on the outside.
Playing too high safety, going to play man under. Going to help with the linebackers on inside routes.
Here comes the rush. They got to him. The ball's thrown short and caught. What a job by Donald Scott. He didn't end up on the ground with the football, but they're going to say it was a catch.
It's going to be one-on-one, and Werzer's just going to trust his receiver to go up and get it. Donald Scott looking like an old Lion. Freddie Scott from years ago going up and taking it away.
Man, that was just a wrestling match there at the peak of the throw. And Scott able to get on the ground before the ball came loose. It'll be a 1st down and 10 at midfield now for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he got a Windows combat catches, and Scott that time took advantage.
That's what we talked about in the pregame. Little offsides here. Tyler Poyer left a little bit earlier, but we talked about these veteran receivers that Werzer has. It's a young football team across the board pretty much for Adrian until you start to look at those skilled players.
It's been a long time since I've seen a player punch himself in the helmet that many times. Poyer frustrated that he jumped offside.
Holiday, Florida for Tyler Poyer, the sophomore. So it's now 1st and 15. Let's see if the Brits can take advantage of the penalty. Here comes the rush. Werzer throws it out. Got his man, that's Paulus. And Paulus will have the penalty back plus a couple as he's inside Britain's territory at about the 47.
Oh, you better have some arm strength to throw it from this far hash on an out route all the way to the far sideline. And he throws it on a line. That's a big-time arm, big-time throw.
So Paulus now comes to our side along with Donald Scott. Henry Wilson wide to the top of the screen along with Tyler Poyer. And it is now a 2nd down at about 7. Werzer drops, time, throws the comeback route, and boy, I'll tell you what, he put that in a tight window.
Old back shoulder throw. Going to see the outside release, throws it on time. Only him and the receiver know when it's thrown. Pick it on Wester. That's a good coverage by Wester, but you can't see the ball, so he's tough to defend.
Henry Wilson Jr. able to lock in on that one and pull it in for the 1st down. Ball at the 30-yard line now, and again, the offensive team seems to have the advantage right now in this 2nd half. Every time they've had the ball, it's resulted in 7. Here comes the blitz, and this time he's just going to have to throw that one away.
Yeah, brought too many that they could pick up, so you're the offensive staff. You trust your quarterback to account for the one guy coming free, and that time he just decides to throw it away. Officials are going to confer, see if it was in grounding.
I'm not sure he was out of the pocket. He threw it past the line of scrimmage. There was absolutely nobody with a gold shirt over on that side of the field. Yeah, but I'd be surprised if that's going to be a grounding call, but we will see.
Werzer was trying to make his case that there was a guy over there he was throwing to.
There's nobody there. Yep, they're going to call it grounding. And I could see how that would be the case. There was absolutely the only gold jerseys were sitting on the other side of the big white stripe over on the visitors' side. No receivers there, and Werzer was in deep trouble when he let that go. And I think what they were looking at was they marked where that pocket might be.
Well, that's a huge penalty. Going to be 2nd down and 25. Lost a down with that, and there's not a lot of play calls on your play sheet, Jim, that you look for 2nd and 25.
Well, obviously now you'd like to get 10 or 12 with that back and then nibble away at it and see if you can get the rest of it on the 3rd down play. They'll look to the sideline for the call.
Taking a look, see the number 76 in the red hat. Usually it's backup quarterback signaling, and you don't see too many offensive linemen being that guy.
Well, who knows? Maybe 76 is their backup quarterback. He's a little bit big, though, for the job, I believe. As the screen pass dumped off, gets about 8 of those yards back. He'll set up a 3rd down at about 14.
A little bubble screen action, good block up there and getting some yards, make it a workable 3rd down. And remember Jared Lorenzen from Kentucky, the Pillsbury throw boy. He was an offensive lineman playing quarterback.
Very similar look to the 76 over there with the red hat. I've got a sneaking hunch, though, he is just a very smart offensive lineman. Yeah.
Probably be a coach someday.
Dustin Buer was a very smart offensive lineman back in the day before he was hurt and then took over as a assistant coach. Ball thrown in the middle of the field, bounced up in the air. Oh, my goodness, almost picked off in the end zone by the Britons. Boy, that was a risky throw. That's one of the few real risky tosses that Werzer's made today.
Yeah, Werzer's not afraid to put it anywhere he thinks he can get it. Almost a tremendous interception, almost a tremendous catch by Donald Scott.
So we got a shout out here on the Brit Sports Network.
This is from Norm Smith, father of Connor Smith, number 2. He says, hit them like that all day and they will fall. Go dude.
We agree with you, Mr. Smith, no doubt about that. That was one heck of a hit your son put on that young man.
Huge play here for the Britain defense.
4th down and about 13. Let's see if the Brits can get to Werzer. He's going to have to run this one. He's going to run out of real estate, and they'll knock him out of bounds. Oh, no! Flag thrown late at the 28-yard line. Let's see if it's a late hit or what it is. We could not see it. No, they're going to pick it up. I think that's a good idea, too. I'll tell you, the Brits did everything it looked like to try to avoid that late hit. There were 4 Britons around it. What do you see, Miles?
Yeah, good job by the front 4, keeping them in the pocket. Werzer takes off, and good job by the officials communicating because they thought there was going to be a face mask on it, but the far side official came in off the sideline and said, no, he didn't grab him by the face mask, grabbed him by the shoulder. So Albion football.
So the Brits have the football back, and that is that defensive stand maybe that you need this afternoon to be able to take this one to the house. So 1 minute and 2 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Britain's up by 5. Football back on the turnover on downs.
Bush dropped his mouthpiece, gets it in time.
They'll give the ball, fake the ball to Price, throw it up the sideline, and out of bounds and incomplete. Well, I'll tell you what, that was very close to being a call, I would think, against Bryce Tullis.
Trying to hit Ryan Nolan up the sideline. Watch Tullis. Gets lost, tries to get his head turned around. I don't know how he didn't make contact.
Well, in the other side of the field that we were not watching, a late hit on Bush will give the Britons the football with another 1st down as they call roughing the passer against the Bulldogs. We were so busy watching the throw down the sideline and wondering whether that was going to be a face guarding call against the defensive back. We didn't see the roughing the passer on the other end.
No, gift wrapped 1st down, courtesy of the Bulldog defense.
1st down now on the 43-yard line for the Brits. They go to Price again, trying to get around the corner. Boy, quick 1st step, and he did get that way, and now we're going to get a flag. 23 with a little dust off. He was a good 5 steps across that big white line when he flipped the running back down, and that one you're going to get every time, Miles.
Yeah, you're going to watch it right here. Diener does a good job coming up one-on-one with Price, gets him out of bounds, and he's in good shape until right here when he spins him. Let him go, but he has to spin him one more time. So that's going to draw the flag every time, Jim.
Easy to lose your place on the field, obviously, and I've got to believe that young Mr. Diener did exactly that. He thought maybe he was still on the football field when he did that.
Look, If they're taking a square dance class, he's in good shape.
Yeah.
But they're not.
He was 3 yards off the football field when he made that spin and dropped him about 5 yards off the football field, and no other way of calling that one. It was not an aggressive throw necessarily, but when you're off the field of play, you just got to let him go, as you said, Miles.
Two consistent first down gift wrapped by Adrian.
Got to take those when you get them, that's for sure. Bush going to toss it out in the flats. He's got his guy, that's Gones. Gones going to work it up the sideline. See, that time he did get a solid push, but he was on the football field when he got knocked out of bounds there by Dominic Wood.
His old Bill Walsh concept right here. Under, and then a bubble by the back. Takes the flat defender inside, and you're going to have open free yards. Great little completion right there. Boy, Bush is such a dynamic passer when he throws on time.
Second down now and about a yard to go for the Britons here as we're about to run out of clock here in the third quarter. Turn around, handoff. That'll be enough for the first down. Up the football field for the first down goes the Britons, Ian Gones again, and that will be the last play probably of the third quarter as we tick down to 3 seconds.
You got to give credit to Scott Rosecrop right there. Unbelievable block. Did you see the hole that Goings had to run through? Thank you, Mr. Rosecrop, to get that open.
So the Brits will have the football on the 20-yard line when we swap ends here to open up this fourth quarter. They're up 5 points, and I'll tell you what, a touchdown right here would make you feel just a little bit more comfortable, although with an entire quarter to play yet, Miles, this game's still up in the air.
Well, I think Albion defensively has found out you got to keep everything in front, right?
Yeah,
and if they keep Adrian's offense in front of them and make a mistake, because, Wurzer's going to put the ball in a precarious spot, so keep him in front of you. They've kind of figured things out defensively now. Like you said, they score a touchdown here. Boy, oh boy, that'll go a long way for getting this win.
Check in again and see if that ball game has gone final there between Trine and Olivet here this afternoon. Got a whole lot of baseball games going this afternoon. And then you have a couple football games. Trine, no update at this point in time. We'll see if we can get some live stats, but Trine on top 33-14, fourth quarter at Olivet this afternoon. The Britons will end their season next week at Olivet. A win today, a win at Olivet next week, and the Britons will do what the coaches said they were supposed to do this year. That is win the MIAA championship in the 2020 season. Big drive right here, though. I tell you what, if you want to keep this game going your way, Miles, you need to punch this one in.
Oh, you're going to check the character of Adrian if you can punch one in right here.
Price in the backfield. They'll fake it to him. Bush drops, looking to throw to the end zone. He's got his guy. Touchdown. There you go. Andrew Duran.
Oh, this is a beautiful route. This is a post corner. Gives a little head bob on the post. Gets the corner to turn his hips and hits the 7 for the touchdown. Great throw by Jack Bush.
And just like that, the request was answered. We have that happen to us every now and then here in Albion. Miles, when we watch these games, and the Brits now with 45 points on the scoreboard, and they lead by 11 with the extra point to come. Snap is good, placement is good. Adrian's really sold out trying to get to that one, but the kick was also good, and the Brits now up by 12, 46-34. And I'll tell you what, again, that return for 2 points really makes that score a little more insurmountable at this point in time,
Sure does. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Seemingly was an extra point right before half. Officials ruled that guy got in the backfield too early, whistled it down, so then all of a sudden Coach Geary says, well, let's go for 2, and wound up being 2 for Albion. It really changed the complexion of this game.
After the game, we'll have a chance to talk to the coach, Coach Buer, right after the ball game here, as Miles will go down and hook up with him for a couple of questions. But boy, it has been a fun Saturday afternoon of football, and we still have 1 quarter left before we can declare a winner here in this MIAA contest this afternoon. Same guy's back deep there. Robeson is 5. He's the gentleman that's handled the football the most this afternoon. Tullis, the other fellow on the other side, and they will go right to Roberson. In fact, that was Nate Shaw, 20 back there this time. Roberson has some room heading up the Adrian sideline across the 35, and wrestled out of bounds at about the 36.
Now the kickoffs have been an adventure, either feast or famine for Albion on the kickoff. There's going to be a hold, I think, though, on this one.
Flag back there on the 29-yard line. The officials conferring.
Might deny a nice return by Roberson. Well, Jim, you can see we're having more flags in the second half, and I think that's indicative because guys are a little bit tired.
I think you're right.
Yeah, it's going to be against Adrian, so they'll mark it off. And if you're Adrian, you're down by 12. Last thing you want to do is start deep in your territory, but you're going to be inside your 20. So if you're Harry Bailey, the offensive coordinator for the Bulldogs, you better start dialing up some of your best plays because you got to get some points on the board in a hurry.
So the Bulldogs now will put it into play. They have a new running back in. I could not catch the number, but it was a 20-something. And we'll see here in just a minute as he has the football. Salvatore Paterno, as he runs it back out for about 7 yards, number 22. He's a freshman out of Pinckney, Michigan.
He's a physical-looking runner, just able to fall forward for 6-7 yards.
So 2nd down and 3 now. Britain's defense love to get him 3 and out right here, Miles.
It's an all Pinckney backfield right now.
It is an all Pinckney backfield, isn't it? This time Paterno finds the running room a little difficult as he gets stood up right there at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Well, you wonder if this is a scheduled sub in to get Ray a little more air in his lungs for the end of the game, or something might be wrong with Mr. Ray over on that Adrian sideline.
Well, let's hope not, but I would guess more to your point. It is kind of warm out here today, 60-some degrees, and both these teams really.
Well, sure, and Ray's a guy that's not used to toting it 20-some times.
No, not at all. Defensive back that's been called on to play running back right now. 3rd down now and 3. See if the Brits can get off the field. Where's your drops? Looking. Going to try to get it maybe with his legs. No, he's going sideways. He still wants to throw, and that was a mistake. I think if he would have committed immediately at that point in time to the run, he had the 1st down.
I agree with you. And how about number 10, Orlando, hunting him down and keeping him inside. Have one-on-one with Werzer. Werzer's going to try and get it a 1st down again, but no. This time the Britain defense stands tall.
Levi Ladd on the tackle for the Britons. 13 minutes to play, and the Britons defense again stuffs the Bulldogs and gives them the opportunity, another touchdown, and I think we feel a little more comfortable at this point in time. See how this offense will respond. Kind of a short kick, fair catch right around the 45-yard line, and an easy situation and good field position right now for the Britons as Andrew Duran makes the fair catch at the 45. You know, it's been a bit of a struggle today for the Bulldogs in their punting game. They've had a couple miscues, and for the Britons, it's just been the opposite, going all the way back to that nice little kick that looked like a pitching wedge that put the Bulldogs down on the 1-yard line and caused the safety.
Everybody forgets how important special teams are until that moment arrives when they creep up and say, hey, don't forget about us on a punt. At that time, a bobbled snap right there cost Adrian a good punt.
1st and 10, let's see if Bush can put this football team in the end zone one more time and put this one away. Fakes it to Price, rolls to his right, looking to throw short. He's got his guy. That's Stuyvesant again. Stuyvesant across the 50 into Bulldogs territory. He'll get about 7 on that one.
Again, Bush using his feet. That's DeAndre Jennings trying to catch him, just a little too tardy. Another pitch and catch completion for the Stuyvesant.
2nd down now and about 4 for the Britons.
They recruit their tight ends big and tall here at Albion, don't they?
Oh, they do. Well, wait till you see Justin Thomas at 6'2", 180. How's that? And fast? Yeah, he's fast. He's faster than Jimmy Bellamy. Handoff gets just short yardage on the left side by Price. But not a bad idea as well to be able to get keep that clock rolling a little bit.
You say it's faster than Jimmy Bellamy, but that's what if there's one left piece of pizza left, I'm gonna put my money on Bellamy.
That's the kind of guy he is. You know, he's that guy that can turn off the light and be back in bed before it's dark type of guy. 11:37 to play in the ball game. Brits going to the ground, looking for the 1st down. They've got it. Powerful run, still going up the field is Ryan Roberts, and Roberts has done that twice now this afternoon.
Oh, the short yardage back. Look at the bruising. They're going to run through 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He wanted to keep running. Adrian wanted no part of it. Look at Kyle Minder, the inside linebacker for Adrian. He wanted nothing to do with that inside run.
So Roberts gets the first down. Brits keep the football now. First down and 10 inside the 35 of the Bulldogs. Quick toss out in the flats. Complete for a short gain to Andrew Duran, as Duran really made something of that. If he had continued with that route, he'd have lost yardage, but that quick spin picks up a couple nice yards and sets up a second down and 8.
And Duran's nice athlete. That is a tough thing to do, run laterally. And look at the quarterback not being able to see the defense where they're at all, expecting their buddies. Hopefully they're getting the block in front of you.
Jimmy Bellamy, his wife's having a birthday this weekend. Last night, he and his wife were cuddled up there with and watching the volleyball game. And today, I'm sure they're doing the same thing. Just a little bonding time there for the Bellamys back in Ohio.
Well, Jim always says his wife is such a lucky lady.
Wow, I think that one might have bounced. Let's see if they're going to call that off. Yes, they are. Good call. As their rush really right in Bush's face, he had to go sidearm with that one. And I think that one skipped from our vantage point. We could see it pretty well.
Yeah, one hop equals 50 cents, but not on that one. It's going to be incomplete.
Yep. Good try. Nice pick up off the carpet and trying to sell it, but the official right there saw exactly what we saw.
Well, picking up a third down conversion here would be huge to win this football game for Albion.
Got to believe this is definitely 2-down territory here.
First time they've showed this stack formation.
Third down now and 8 with doubles on both sides. Bush trying to figure out where he's going to. Well, when you're in doubt, you go to Colby Canfield, right? And you say, Colby, we need 8. I threw it to you at 6. You find the other 2, and that's exactly what Canfield did.
Oh, this is a tremendous job by Bush because he's trying to hit the out. They take it away. Look at that. He throws off the back foot, can't get his lower half into it, pushes it with an all arm, but yet successful. And why not go to Canfield? Anytime they've had to get out of trouble, you go to Canfield.
No doubt about that. First down and 10, Britons. 9:56 and counting, quarter number 4, and they are up right now by 12. A touchdown here pretty much seals it, you would expect. And a touchdown by taking a couple more minutes off the clock would definitely get that job done, but unfortunately, Ian Goins will be caught in the backfield for a loss of about a yard.
DeAndre Jennings knifing through again, number 31 for the Bulldogs. Going to play underneath that pole and gets on top of the running back, his third tackle for loss in this game already.
So second down, they'll say he lost about 2, so second down about 12 for the Brits.
The Jennings, the junior from Houston, Texas.
You know, that is the amazing thing. When you take a look at this Albion squad, they are primarily from Michigan, and an awful lot of the other teams in the MIAA will go scouting and recruiting from other places. We spin out Ryan Nolan out of the first tackle, and he goes for the first down. I'll tell you what, Nolan has done a wonderful job this afternoon.
He's really risen to the opportunity, hasn't he?
He really has.
And I like the physicality. Watch him lower the boom right here. You're going to try and tackle me. No, you are not.
Justin Thomas out again this afternoon for the day, and hope to have him back in again next week against Olivet. And I'll tell you what, this fall when we get a chance to do the games again with both of the Thomas brothers back, it's going to be a fun Saturday afternoon of fireworks here at Albion and all around the conference.
Quickly, this game is down to 8:30. This is a time-consuming drive by Albion. Great play calling, mixing run and short pass to convert the chains.
You do have to like what Coach Buer is doing right now because you are burning just a little bit of clock to go along with this drive. And with Werzer at the quarterback spot, you never can tell. They came back and got Olivet 2 weeks ago, but they were a little bit closer than they are right now. Handoff again goes to Ian Goins, and Goins will go forward for a couple.
Now it's Jack MacArthur who says, I shall return on the tackle. Makes a big tackle for Adrian. Otherwise, it would have been a touchdown for Albion.
Goins gets it down to about the 7-yard line, and Price comes back into the football game here. 7.5 to play now. Britton sideline starting to act up just a little bit to get the offense in gear. Bush drops, looking to throw, running out of times, tosses it away in the end zone and short. And he was in the pocket as well, and there were no receivers around him. So
it'll be interesting to see if they get together and say this might be grounding.
And they're talking about it right now, and I would not be surprised. Yep, there comes the flag. At least they're consistent this afternoon. You might not be happy with the call that Adrian got a little while ago.
A little bit insult to injury that thrown right in front of Bush. Bush trying to do his best to litigate. No, sir, I had a receiver. And he would have had a receiver, but the secondary knocked him off his route. It was a crossing route, but they held him. And they're going to field goal. This is a huge field goal in this game, Jim.
So this will be from the 26-yard line, making it a 36-yard kick. And Cooney had plenty the last time. Let's see if he can knock this one through. Good snap, good spot. This one's on its way, and it's right down the center.
That's a heck of a kick by Cooney.
And with that, the Britons go up 15.
That's where you tell your guys on the sideline now, look, Adrian's got to do a lot of things right for us to lose this game. Don't help them. Up by 15, you do the math, they got to score twice and get at least one two-point conversion.
And you know, the Britons defense has been up to the occasion the last two drives, stifling that Adrian offense that was so potent as we played into this fourth quarter. So the Britons right now need another defensive stop, and then we can start seeing things that look an awful lot like victory positions there as we roll down this clock. Again, back deep, Nate Shaw is number 20. He's on the Adrian side. And Robeson comes over to our side.
Now you think about it, Jim, first 14 points of this game by Adrian. Since then, 49-20, Albion.
Williams will kick off for the Brits. And let's see if we can keep Robeson locked up deep in his end again. He's going to fair catch it again. Wow, I'm not understanding that one at this point because he has had some very nice returns, and there were really no Britons anywhere close to him that time.
The only thing I'm thinking is that you're saving even 6 seconds on the clock, and you need that as much time as possible down by 15.
Yeah, I think you probably hit it on the nail. And Coach Deere probably is thinking exactly that same thing. Webcast at albion.edu if you want to talk to us yet before the afternoon is over.
Yeah, Ray still out of the game for Adrian. The best ball carrier today for the Bulldog offenses over on the sideline.
And you kind of hope there's nothing serious over on that side. Paterno back in the game here for the Bulldogs. Where's it drops? Throws to the sideline. And a nice job by the Britons to come over and defend that one. Larry Platt with the knockaway.
Just sitting in his cover 2 look. Werzer throws it. His feet aren't able to get involved. This has to go all arm, and another dangerous throw trying to gauge for a conversion.
Platt did a good job there of knocking that away, but if he could have closed on it one more step quicker, that was an easy 6.
Yeah, Werzer, when he's good, he's really good. When he's bad, oof, that was a dangerous throw again. He'll put the ball up in spots.
Brits, I think, dialing up a little more heat here as this game goes on, so that front four for the Britons doing a good job of playing into this fourth quarter. Paterno again, no place to go as that defensive front stands tall here for the Britons.
A good job angling towards the field, or towards the boundary rather, and taking that inside run away.
Ballard, the young fella coming off the sideline right now, as the Brits have substituted quite freely there in the middle of that defensive line here this afternoon.
Dwayne Leggett, the freshman from Cass Tech, number 51, playing big on that last inside run for Albion.
6:40 and counting. 3rd down and 10. Brits are coming. Werzer lets it go, and it's intercepted. Guess what? 21. We've called that number a couple times today. Ricky Pearson.
Pearson playing the high safety to the field side. Werzer thinks he's got one-on-one, but it's man under safety help over top, and he puts it up thinking his guy's going to come down with it. No, sir. Another big turnover by this Albion defense.
And I do think Adrian looks like they're a little bit gassed right now.
Yeah, they didn't have any hurry up in them that last possession. It should be nothing but inside run right here for that Albion offense. Eat some clock, shorten this game, get another point on the board. Let's go home with a win.
6.5 minutes to burn right now for the Britons. And let's see if Dusty will keep this one on the ground, and yes, he does. Forward inside the 50 to about the 48-yard line. Again, the Britons going to that power game here. Goins with the run. In fact, that was James Bloomfield, 24 that time with the carry. So you're now bringing in a fresh set of legs as well to maybe help you burn that clock a little bit, Miles.
Yeah.
Shout out on the network right now.
Yeah, shout out at webcast at albion.edu from Lawrence Austin. Says, let's go Dogs, finish the game.
Yeah. Again, Bloomfield, he'll have the first down, and maybe those fresh legs are the difference right now as he was able to turn that corner.
Yeah, all offensive linemen will tell you they love these situations where you can run the clock out by being physical, and you got a running back that is going forward, and that's exactly what's going on with this Albion offense. Look at the physicality of the run game by Albion.
Bloomfield, the freshman in the ball game right now from Jackson, Michigan. 5'10", $180. Not been used all that much here this afternoon, and coach put him in late here. 5:20 and counting, and they'll go right back to 24 again. This time, Adrian with good push. He'll lose about a yard, maybe two, back to the 35. But from what we're looking at right now, I think Dusty Buer is happy to watch that game clock and that play clock just tick right on down here.
Yeah, we'll snap it inside of 5, and that was Kevin Smitherman for Adrian that made the tackle, played the inside hip of the pulling tackle. Made a good play for Adrian.
Henry says that Adrian got to shape up.
Yeah, I agree. No doubt about it. Henry, I tell you, good football team, though. I tell you, they've played extremely hard here this afternoon. Got to be proud of them and your son as well. Britain's just kind of wearing them out right at this point in time as they go again back to that running game, and they'll pick up the yards that they lost +1.
Your coach Deere, you got to start thinking about you got to get 2 scores, 4-12 or 4-12, 5-4-10 before they snap it here. And when are you going to use those last 3 timeouts? You're going to start saving some clock.
Going to have to here pretty soon, you would think. First down right here probably wraps things up pretty much. See what the call will be. Will the Brits put it in the air, or will they choose to run it 2 more times if they need to?
I know what the offensive line's hoping for, inside run.
They want it. Big guys like to eat in times like this. They're going to throw it down the field just a little bit too far for Ryan Nolan. Surprise him just a little bit. He had a step in that backfield on Kawakowski, but the ball thrown just a little bit too far.
Yeah, try to go for the kill shot on 3rd down and long. Had him just a little bit too deep with the throw, but the thing that you scratch your head about is you saved about 40 seconds for Adrian right there.
Goins comes back in the backfield here for the Britons. You threw it once, you're going to throw it again. You need 9 on 4th down.
Yeah, you have to throw here because if you don't get it with a run, it stops anyhow. So either way, you don't pick it up, it's going to be a stopped clock in favor of Adrian.
Duran back in the game too. He's in the slot on the top of your screen right now. Bush drops. Here comes the rush. He's got plenty of time. Throws it down to the middle of the field, and it's going to be intercepted in the end zone by number 10, Bryce Tullis. So Tullis will take it out of the back end, and that pretty much works about as good as a punt. You can't punt from the 35-yard line, but you can throw an interception, which gives the ball to Adrian now in the 20.
Yeah, miscommunication. I think someone is supposed to run a post. Bush kind of throws up in the air, but Tullis intercepts it, costs him his team 11 yards in field position.
Yeah, he really does. Works out well for the home team right now. 3:39 to play. Adrian with all of their timeouts left, but they're down 49-34, 15 big points.
Coach Sheridan, the secondary or defensive coordinator at Albion, going to loosen up at secondary. Keep everything in front of you if you're Albion.
Miles going to go down the sideline and grab Coach Dusty Buer. have a little conversation with the coach before this one's all wrapped up here today as Worzer leans back and fires, and this one's going to be intercepted. Guess who's got that one? 16 comes up off that field.
How big is Donovan Slates for this defense? That's an inside linebacker dropping into a Tampa 2 cover 2 zone. Worzer thinks he's got a mismatch. No way. Slates will wipe the offense clean. Unbelievable effort. What an athlete.
Yeah. And the ball now goes right back over to the Britons at the midfield stripe. Now I don't think you're going to see the ball up in the air again. It's going to be run, run, run.
Run, run away. Just keep it between the tackles and hold on to the football.
No doubt about that. So the Britons now with the football. 15-point lead, 3:34 they need to burn away. And you got to believe they're going to go right on the ground, just like this. Hang on to the football, flag on the field. That's about the worst thing that the Brits could see happen right now, because that does slow things down. The holding call will back them up a little bit. We'll send Miles down to the sideline with the microphone and all the gear. Go up and see Kenny. There's a space suit that you have to wear down there, Miles. It's an amazing thing that we send you down with. So it'll be first down again for the Britons, only this time instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 20 as the ball will be placed inside the 40-yard line at the Britons 39. Britons with a quick little shift as Mark Toko comes in, number 2. He'll be in the slot at the top. And I believe Colby Canfield's day is done as he comes to the sideline. Big day for Canfield, big day for the Britons all the way around. Handoff again. 40-yard line, a big stick as Bloomfield thought he had a little more room than what he actually did have. Got hit hard by Kyle Minder. And Minder makes the big hit. And timeout by Adrian there will stop the clock with 3:04 to play in this ball game. And at this point in time in the game, I've always been wondering why you do call those. Again, you need some lightning in a bottle right now, and that's why you do it. We have seen some of those games that have turned around with just 3 minutes to go. Doesn't happen very often, only a big turnover of some sort. And you got to believe that the Britons, as you saw with Bloomfield on that last run, they're going to hand somebody the ball, tell them to put both hands on the football, get as much as they can, and go down and allow that clock to continue to run. Good afternoon. If you didn't join us at the beginning, Adrian went up 14-0 quickly. They opened up with a nice drive to open up the game for a touchdown, and then a pick six made it 14-0. The Britons then have been able to turn the tables past that, as they have now outscored them 49-20 the rest of the way. And the Britons are going to throw this one. Little screen pass, and off the hands of the intended receiver and incomplete. So the Britons got a little bit fancy right there. If that would have been completed, it probably wouldn't have been enough for a first down, because I didn't think Adrian was expecting that call by any stretch of the imagination. They were expecting the run, and there was nothing but wide open territory between that receiver and that yard marker. 3 minutes to play. They'll go back to the run. Nice little juke move outside, and James Bloomfield will be dragged down after a short gain. And another time out now by Adrian will leave them with just one and set up the Brits with a 4th down and about 15.
Short gain. Timeout. Timeout.
So a timeout for Adrian, as we'll take a look and see if we can find out how that other football game was going out. Tryon and Olivet. See if we can find some live stats out of Olivet here today. That one has to be in the books, I would think, by now, and it is. A final now. Tryon wins over Olivet 36-21. So Tryon's season is over. They will end up the conference schedule at 2-1. And Olivet now will host the Britons next week. to finish everything up. And the Britons with a win today will go to 2-0. So a win next week at Olivet would lock up the championship for the Britons here in what has been a football season for the ages, I guess. This will go down to the record books with all kinds of asterisks, and you will have to read paragraphs to be able to figure out exactly what happened and why these teams only played 3 games and why they played them in the spring. Nice high booming kick. Caught by Kalikowski at the 10-yard line, and then Brits all over him. He'll get back to the 15-yard line, and that'll be the end of it. Williams, really a nice job today of punting, not only with his placement of the ball, but all over it. Just a great day. Big hang times all afternoon. Things have been extremely good this afternoon for the Brits and the special team today.
Green light's on.
49-34, 2:47 to play as our own Miles.
What's that?
Holiday. Our own Miles Holiday will be talking to the coach at the end of this football game this afternoon, as we'll get his opinion as to what's going on. Swing pass out into the flats. Brits will give you those all day long, as they will get the first down, and Salvatore Paterno will go out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. But again, the Britons will be happy to give Paterno 7, 8, 10 yards every catch he wants to make right now with just 2.5 to play in this ball game. Werzer drops again. No pressure. Again, finds his wide receiver. This time it's his tight end, Poyer, who will catch it. Get up to about the 35-yard line, step out of bounds. He'll stop the clock. In fact, it'll stop anyway because that was 10 again, and they'll move the sticks one more time. 2:12 to play now. The clock is running. Werzer's got some heat coming. He's going to have to step up in the middle of a pile, and that is not a good idea, as Nick Fannin is there to scoop him up and drop him back at about the 28-yard line. Nice rush off the left end by the Brits. It basically gave Werzer no opportunity other than to step up in that pocket, which was collapsing around him, and they will take their third and final timeout now with a 2nd down and 15. What a beautiful afternoon of football. Pretty day. Couldn't ask for a better day to play. If this was September or October, we would be very happy to call a game under these kind of conditions again, and especially when it gets to be November. Then you worry about the cold and the snow and the sleet and the hail and all the other things that happen up here in this Michigan state.
Just a reminder, there's great sports coming up this week as well.
Britain's volleyball team will play, as you heard from Marissa, at halftime on Tuesday night to open up the MIAA tournament.
And volleyball team hosts Adrian.
And they will host Adrian right here at the Kresge Center on Tuesday night. Not sure whether we're going to get a chance to do that game or not, as the Britons again meet at the quarterback one more time this afternoon. And I think Jack Werzer would be just content to allow this one to run out, as Jarius Bullard and Casmer Johnson meet in the backfield together. In fact, that was 95 Akuma basically that got the big paws around him. As Akuma makes the tackle, Werzer throws across the middle, off the hands of Henry Wilson. And that'll set up a 4th down now for the Adrian Bulldogs with 1:26 to play. Wilson would not have had the 1st down, but boy, he would have had a big chunk of it right there around the 40-yard line. It would set up a 4th down and about 5 instead. 4th down and 17 now for the Bulldogs. And if they're going to have another play, they're going to have to convert a pretty decent pass play right now. They'll go with triples on this side, nobody at the top. They'll bring the tight end across the middle, but Werzer runs out of time, and he'll go down back around the 21-yard line. All kinds of Britons all over him. Again, Mitchell Aronson back there, and Casper Johnson back as well, as they meet at the quarterback at the 21-yard line, and the ball will get turned over on downs to the Britons. Adrian out of timeouts now. I got to believe you're going to see a couple of knees taken by the Britons, and that's all they're going to need to run that clock down to 000s here this afternoon. So the Britons took a month off, basically, between their convincing win against Trine and this convincing win today against Adrian. And while they were rusty in the first 5 or 6 minutes of this football game, by the time that second quarter came around, the Brits found their second and third and fourth gears, and they're going to deliver a victory to the home crowd here this afternoon, 49-34. Victory formation right now for the Brits. Bush will take a knee. Clock now will run down somewhere to around 20 seconds or so, and they'll have to do that one more time before this one will officially go in the record book as a win this afternoon for the Britons. And hang around, Miles Holliday will be talking to the coach right after the game as he's down on the field and waiting for his conversation. Thank all the folks on WOSN and WNHO who joined us today, along with everybody out on that Britain Sports Network today. And all of you also that shouted out to us today and communicated with us. Coach Slammer going down the walkway right now, and this will end this football game right now as they take a knee. And the Britons will take another victory home with them here this afternoon. They'll go 2-0 on the season. What a great afternoon if you're a Britons fan, and what a beautiful afternoon here of football on a Saturday afternoon in Albion. Boy, I wish we'd have had 5 of these this year, but unfortunately we only get 1, and this will be the only football game that we'll get a chance to bring you this year, as they will go to Olivet next week and do their things there. We will take a look here real quick at some stats for you. Pretty good little football team, a pretty good little football game, as the Britons taking the team over to the edge of the railings here. And I think we're going to entertain the crowd just a little bit before they scoot off the sideline. Coming over to celebrate just a little bit as Miles goes down looking for Coach Buer, who blew his whistle and took the team down. Miles, you kind of lost him down there, Miles.
So Coach Buer is going to go in for a second, and then he's going to come back out.
That sounds like a deal, man. He blew that whistle, and at that point in time, things kind of went towards the locker room there all of a sudden on you. What a ball game this afternoon for the Brits here as we take a look and try to bring up a few of these stats here this afternoon for you. Britons win this afternoon 49-34 as they really just dominated the second half. Got off to a tough start early as they were down early in this ball game, 14-0 after a nice drive to start the game for the Adrian Bulldogs. They took the opening drive, marched it down 60 yards for a touchdown. And then on the first drive of the afternoon for the Britons basically had a pick 6 that put the Bulldogs up 14-7, and that pick 6 came from a young fellow by the name of Mr. Beamer. And Tyrell Diener had a really nice pick and a touchdown on that one. But the Britons able to put everything together after that and take this one to the house as we now get the stats coming up here, the final stats on the afternoon. The Britons on the afternoon had 49 points to 34 for Adrian, 14-14 at the end of the first quarter. The Britons basically were down at the half, 27-25, but the second half, the offense came out and rolled and the defense got really tough. They outscored Adrian 14-7 in the third quarter and 10-0 in the fourth quarter. And you can't say enough really about the way that the Britons defense played late in that game. Things opened up here in the day at 12:21 mark here today. Malik Ray had a 3-yard touchdown run to put the Bulldogs up 7-0. And then Tyrell Diener with a 44-yard touchdown on the interception made it 14-0. Then Brendan Teal had a 14-yard connection from Jack Bush to cut that lead to 14-7. And Philip Jones Price took one in from 4 yards out to tie it up. That's how the first quarter ended. Then in the second quarter, Tyler Poyer had a 21-yard catch from Jack Werzer to make it 21-14. And then Philip Jones took one in for a 5-yard touchdown run to get the Britons close again. It was then at the 4:31 mark that things kind of turned around. The Britons with a nice punt and were able to get a safety on the Adrian Bulldogs. Adrian able to score then after that one and take a lead into the locker room with them here at halftime. But it was all Britons in the second half. Philip Jones-Price with a 7-yard run at the 11:10 mark in the third quarter. Malik Ray answered with a 3-yard run after a 74-yard drive for Adrian Bulldogs to put them back on top. And then Ryan Nolan went in from 16 yards out on a pass play from Jack Bush. And from that point in time, after that 9-play, 95-yard drive, the Britons never looked back. It was an Andrew Durand 20-yard pass completion from Bush, and then a Jackson Cooney field goal that put the icing on the cake here this afternoon for the Albion Britons. We look at some of the individual stats. Jack Werzer this afternoon, 17 for 32, 215 yards, a long of 25, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the afternoon. From the running standpoint this afternoon, well, let's go receivers first of all. It was Tyler Poyer who had the big afternoon, 8 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown. Donald Scott with 5 for 84 yards. Henry Wilson with 3 for 52 yards and a touchdown this afternoon. Salvatore Paterno with 1 catch for 10 yards. Running here this afternoon, it was, let's see, we have to go find that one here right now. Passing, receiving. Where did they do with the running? Here we go. No, we don't have running here on this side of the play. Kyle Minder had a great afternoon, had 7 tackles and 6 assists this afternoon for the Bulldogs. For the Britons this afternoon, it was the Jack Bush show this afternoon, 34 for 47, 401 yards, 27 was his long, 3 touchdowns. Did have a couple interceptions this afternoon, one that did go for a touchdown this afternoon as well. When you look at Philip Jones-Price, he led the rushing attack for the Brits this afternoon, 20 carries for 78 yards, had 3 touchdowns this afternoon. James Bloomfield had 6 carries for 25 yards. Ian Goins with 7 totes for 25 yards. Ryan Roberts, 2 runs. They were both third down and 2 or 3 yards. 2 rushes, he had 15 total yards, so he got the first down and then some both times. It kept the drive alive for the Britons and kept the game going for them. Receiving this afternoon, Kobe Canfield with 10 for 137, and 27 is along as we going to send everything down to Miles Holiday here in just a minute when the coach comes back on the field. Ryan Nolan with 7 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown. Andrew Duran for 5 catches, 56 yards and a touchdown. And Mitchell, well, let's go back here because I think we got Brandon Teal, basically number 22, 2 catches, 39 yards, and 1 touchdown this afternoon as well. We will take a timeout real quickly, cut the TV guys loose, and when we come back, stay on the stream. You'll hear from the coach here on the Britain Sports Network.
It's a no-brainer, man.
Oh, that was a really nice win. Very good win. Looked a little shaky there in that first quarter.
Here comes Coach now.
Back here on the web stream, and Miles Holiday down on the football field right now as Coach Dusty Buer coming out to chat with Miles, and Miles will send it down to you.
All right, Coach, down 14-0 early in this game. What's to say about the character of this football team? Down 14-0, not giving up.
Well, we've been through a lot as a group this year. Games getting canceled. That was my biggest concern. Can we start fast? We've been off for a couple weeks now, over 3. So you play a game, you're feeling good, you got momentum. But I think the biggest thing it says about this group is they know how to respond. We talk about response a lot, maturity. We've had a very mature group. You know, we've gone through some ups and downs, but overall we stuck together. And then when we finally got to game day, I think it was like, oh my God, we actually have a game this week. The team showed up. Oh, they're here. We're one step closer. And I don't think that we weren't ready to play. It was just a big return, quick touchdown, pick six, not where you want to be, but resilience, discipline, and just having an undying belief that we were going to get it done.
How important early in the game converting third downs was Colby Canfield?
He's huge. He is a difference maker on the field. We asked Colby going into whatever it was, 2019, seems like 8 years ago, to move from outside to inside. It was going to provide him more opportunities, make us more explosive as an offense. We knew without Justin Thomas today, we were going to have guys step up. And obviously, we talked about going into this game. We had 3 guys on offense playing in this game that had scored a touchdown in their career. What's up, buddy? And what happened then was guys stepped up. The guys we needed to step up stepped up.
Who's this guy?
This is Big John. Can you say hi? Can you say go Brits?
Yeah, big fan. Big John, big fan. All right, now your quarterback, Jack Bush, over 400 yards passing tonight. How important to that offense is he?
Guy, he's been playing his butt off. You know, we'll get rid of that turnover there. He has had a couple picks. He can get better. He knows that. There's no one harder on himself than Jack. And I think the one thing that we've done is you can trust Jack to run and manage a game, right? And he's done a great job of that. And teams keep trying to take away the run, and we don't have any experienced running backs, so we're going to open it up on the perimeter. We got guys who can make plays all over the place when they try to focus on the pass stuff side of things. And then we hit some big run seams late in the game, and Phillip Jones-Price had a great game, right? Ryan Roberts on short down and distance situations. He's kind of got guys that are filling certain roles for us right now because we lost Jacob Clark in the fall, who was supposed to be our top running back, and guys are stepping up, getting experience. You can't replace game experience, right? And for us to be able to actually play games and get these guys experience going into next year is huge.
Yeah, first half of track meet up and down both teams. What did you guys do defensively to slow them down in the second half?
What Coach Sheridan wanted to do is he said, let's just simplify, go back to our base stuff, get guys comfortable again. You know, they still got a couple. They got one score in the second half right on us. But other than that, the guys started, you know, they played comfortable. They knew what their responsibilities were. And at the end of the day, they started doing their jobs. I think there started to be a little self-doubt. That's a group that has a lot of swagger. They haven't been punched in the mouth yet. That's not a bad thing going into a championship game next week.
A guy like Donovan Slates has been unbelievable for your program, right? How cool was that to see him get that interception towards the end of the game?
There is none. I would keep Donovan Slates for 70 years. He is the ultimate team guy, one of the best players, best linebackers in the conference, one of the toughest kids I've ever been around, and one of the best leaders on our team and in our program. And, like, people look to Don. If Don's feeling confident, and he got the guy snapped out of it after a tough series in the second half after they scored, and they listen to him, and then he gets big play, and there's nothing I can't say enough about Donovan Slates. I love that kid to death.
Well, you got Olivet next week, hopefully, right? Cross our fingers, right? What do you got to do this next week to get to, you know, that championship level, get another MIAA championship?
Well, each day is the next most important day of the season, so we'll get tomorrow, fix our mistakes. They did some things defensively that'll be some similar to Olivet for us offensively, which was good. So it's almost like you got practice in a game situation. And I think now that we're going to that finish line and the guys see it in front of them, you're going to see a pretty locked-in team this week.
Well, Coach, good luck to you, and congratulations on the big win today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Jim, heck of an excited coach right there. What a football game this was.
Oh, it was a great game, and Miles Holliday, thank you for helping today. Great job by Miles. Great job by Kenny Richer here this afternoon, doing a great job from Richer Productions. Matt Aaron, thank you for having us today, and also Marissa Smigo making her debut on the Britain's Network here at halftime today, and we thank Marissa for all the things that she does to make our life a much easier process. So that's going to do it for us today. The Brits win today 49-34 here on the Britain Sports Network. It'll unfortunately wrap up our football coverage here for the spring. The Brits go to Olivet next week, and hopefully they can wrap up the MIAA championship next week with a win over Olivet. We're hoping maybe to get a volleyball game in this week, so keep your eyes peeled up to GoBrits.com and see if we aren't going to do maybe another volleyball game or two from the beach here this week as the MIAA Championships Series starts this week all across Michigan and Indiana. For Ken Rieker, for my buddy Miles Holliday, I'm Jim Funderburg saying one last time, the Brits win today 49-34. That'll do it, everybody. Have a great weekend.